Kicking off for the Cougars is Mark Ormsby. Ormsby, the rugby player who's playing his first football this year. And here's the kick. High and back to the goal line. Taken right there. They'll run it out. 5, 10. At the 15, knocked off his feet at the 17-yard line. That's Trimble, number 23, returning it. Dave Trimble and Bicimano for BYU made the tackle. There's the offensive starting lineup for the University of Washington. They have a big offensive line. Along the line weighing 278, 248, 260, 264, and 287.
It's going to be physical up in the trenches today. There's no doubt about it.
The quarterback is Hugh Millen. Here's the first offensive play of the game from the 18-yard line. Millen back to throw on first down. Throws it over the middle. Incomplete. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver.
Looks like going right over the middle there. Kerry Whittingham's missing.
That's the tailback, David Toy, who looked like it was a catchable ball.
Yeah, they might be going ahead and trying to test those inside linebackers with knowing that Kerry Whittingham's out early in the game. We'll have to watch here and see.
2nd and 10. Millen was 21 of 38 last week in the loss to Oklahoma State. Here's the running play off the left side, and good defensive action by the Cougars. That's Kurt Gavea. Gavea tackled David Toy, and Steve Sanders also there for the Cougars.
Okay, 3rd down. That was a great job, Jay. If you watch here on the replay, Kurt Gavea is just fighting off his block, comes through, breaks through the line, and makes a shoestring tackle there. Jason Buck jumping in there too. That's a tough side to run against, but teams seem to like to go ahead and try and test that right side of our defensive line.
3rd down, still 10 yards to go for Washington. High formation. Millen fakes a draw, back to pass. Here it comes, and it is complete. Nice catch under pressure.
Good pass rush.
Sprouse covering, and I think it was Darrell Franklin who caught it. Good catch. No, David Trimble who caught it. It's enough for the first down.
Watch here, he's just running a little route down about 15 yards and out. Turns outside, ball's right there. Jeff Sprouse is right there, pretty good protection, pretty good coverage, but just wasn't enough to get the job done.
Up to the 30-yard line, he was just a split second behind. He had a hand almost in there in time. First down call. Pitch back to Toy. Toy turns the corner, is hit hard. Might have got a yard.
I'll tell you what, playing defensive line here last year was sure nice. Knowing Kurt Gavea and Leon White, they can string it out, and I think, obviously Kurt's proven that we didn't hurt when we missed Todd Shell. He's come in and did a great job.
Give those big, slow defensive linemen like Jim Herman a chance to get to the play.
That's right.
You just slow them down and they make the tackle. Is that it?
That's about it. Take all the glory.
2nd and 9 for for Washington on their own 32-yard line. Franklin in motion to the left side. The snap. Millen with the ball. Back to throw again. Sprinting out. Fires downfield. I think that'll be incomplete. It is. Rob Ludenko made a quick hit on that one on Tony Covington, who is a fullback, and it's incomplete.
Look here, Jay, it's just a little play action, roll out to the right. You got the guard out there in front of him. This play's designed to go for about 10 yards and get the first down. The ball really should have been caught. What do you think, Jim?
I think so, too. Right there.
Ludenko has played very well for BYU this year at Boston College and against UCLA. 3rd down and 8 for the Huskies.
Definitely passing situation.
Millen is back to throw. Looks over the middle. Throws under pressure and over to everybody.
Good rush there by Jason Buck, coming up from behind. Forcing the throw a little bit early.
Pass was intended for Lonsell Hill, and covering on it for BYU was Rodney Thomas.
If you had to replace a Jim Herman, you would want a guy like Jason Buck to do it.
Easy.
And Jason's come in and done a super job, and has got the pressure there on the quarterback, forced him to throw the ball early, and was the main reason that play didn't go.
Punting situation. Jager, the punter. Here's the kick. Coming back to Sikahema at the 22-yard line. To 25, 30, up to the 35, up to the 40, and dances his way to the 43-yard line.
Boy, he's exciting to watch. Every time he gets his hands on the ball, you just never know how far or where he's going to end up.
David Trimble tackled him. David Trimble tackled him. 2nd and 10 for BYU. 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 2nd and Sikahema that's his 13th punt return. He's averaging 4.5 yards per punt, and he also has the a WAC record for a number of punt returns now.
Yeah, I think Sikahema, I don't think we're going to lose much slack with Vi coming in for Kelly Smith. Even though Kelly's a consistent all-around player, Vi is so elusive. It's just a great feeling for a coach to know that you've got someone like that to come in and replace Kelly Smith.
Cougar team offensively on the field. You'll have Dave Wright, a senior from Petaluma, California, and Scott Robinson, a senior from Palo Alto at tackles. The guards are Dave King from Payson, Dave Tidwell from Nampa, Idaho, the guards, and Keith McCullough, a senior from Downey, California, as the starting center. And for BYU, there's Robbie Bosco, who'll be starting at quarterback. Then you've got Lake Hemuli at fullback, Vi Sikahema, tailback, Mark Bellini, wide receiver, Trevor Malini, the tight end, and Glenn Kozlowski, the split end.
47 touchdowns for Robbie Bosco in his career. The 24 interceptions, that's one thing BYU has got to cut down on today if they're going to be successful against a team like Washington. They cannot have the turnovers that they've had in the past.
You know, you get asked a lot, Craig and Jim, by fans, who's the best you've ever seen at this position or that position? It's tough to pick the quarterback, but Glenn Kozlowski may be the best receiver to ever play here.
Absolutely.
I think I'll have to agree with that, too.
To me, he's the best I've ever seen. Here's Bosco to throw on first down, right over the middle, and he'll be down at the 46-yard line. Just a little flip. I think, is that to, it's a Hemuli, the fullback.
Okay.
David Rill tackled him.
Locke was starting for the BYU offensive line. Scott Robinson, 69 at right tackle. At right guard, number 60, Dave Tidwell. Center, 67, Keith McCullough. Left guard, 66, David King. Left tackle, David Wright, potential all-whacker this year. And tight end, Trevor Malini.
Tom Tuipulotu is in at running back for BYU. And Sikahema went out. It's a running play. That's Tommy with the football. He has a first down for Brigham Young. A quick opener, and he carried it to the 45-yard line. Tuipulotu, who's a junior.
You see something like that, Fowler comes in and
he's from San Mateo, California.
Option pass out.
So the Cougars have a first down now on the 45-yard line of the University of Washington. Darrell Hall made the tackle, made the stop on Tuipulotu. Here we come. Bosco up over the ball. Two setbacks. Got Bellini to the right and Kozlowski to the left. And he's back to throw. Good protection. Over the middle. Diving catch. Nice catch that time by Trevor Bellini, the tight end.
I'll tell you, I think Trevor has the potential to be one of the best tight ends we've ever had here.
If you watch Trevor here, he goes down and he runs his routes. Some of the coaches say better than the other tight ends we've had in the past. There's been a question on his hands, how good a hands Trevor has, but I think right there it just goes to show you that he's got the hands to do it.
He's an exceptional athlete.
That's another position where you could say, who's the best you've seen at that one?
It's hard to say.
You've got Gordon Hudson and Clay Brown, and now Trevor Malini.
Don't forget David Mills. David Mills did a great job last year.
Great tight ends, great hands.
I think one thing about them is they all have certain traits that are different from someone else, but also excel.
Of course, one thing Malini has is that blazing speed. First and 10, BYU on the Washington 35-yard line. The Cougars with the threat going here early in the game. That's Malini in motion. Goes back the other way. Bosco to pass. Does throw. Completes it to the 30-yard line. That time to Lindley, who just came in the game. Lance Lindley, a senior from Smithfield. He's tackled by Tom Erlinson.
That play's designed, Jay, to just pick up five or 6 yards on first down. It's just a 2 or 3 step drop by Robbie, and he turns and right now lets it go to the tight end, who's just 5 or 6 yards out on a little turnaround pattern.
2nd and 5, BYU. The game from Provo, Utah today. Brilliant sunshine, 65,000 fans here, enjoying two of the best college teams in the country. Bellini comes in motion to the left side. A sweep to Sikahema to the right side. The blocking's there. He turns the corner, slips the tackle to the 20, down to the 10. He's going to score. And then you always look for flags. I don't see one.
No flags on the field.
By Sikahema into the end zone. Bellini came in motion to the left, and they sent the sweep back to the right.
That was a beautiful job of the fullback Lakehe Muli, the guard Dave Tidwell going out, Scott Robinson going out and making the blocks. Vi had to slip one tackle, and it's off to the races.
He could see about the 10-yard line that nobody could get him.
No way. That was just a beautifully executed little sweep play there, and everybody did their job blocking.
Webster to try the extra point. It's fumbled a bit. He gets the kick up there. A line drive kick, and he got it through. That ball looked like it was laid flat instead of on its nose.
Hit one of those knuckleballs. You never know where they're going to end up.
Gary Webster is now 6 of 7 kicking extra points, and Brigham Young University, with about 11 minutes to go in the first quarter, has the lead over Washington by a score of 7-0. 5 plays, 58 yards, 2 minutes, 16 seconds. Darrell Franklin is one of the deep men for Washington. Kicking off for the Cougars is Ormsby. Mark Ormsby, a senior from New Zealand. Here's the kick. Drives it pretty good this time. It'll go into the end zone about 6 or 7 yards. It's dropped. They fall on it, and they'll come out to the 20. All right, the Huskies send their offensive unit out of the field. Down 7-0. That was a very pretty drive BYU put together.
That was a typical BYU drive. Just excellent job of moving the ball downfield the way they wanted to. Great play calling by Coach Norm Chow.
Meyer, the fullback, Toy, the tailback, Millen, the quarterback, and split wide to the right is Hill, the split end. Wide to the left, I should say. First play is a running play right up the middle for 5 yards. Quick opener to the fullback, Ricky Meyer. There's a sophomore from California.
Not only does good offensive drive in the beginning builds the offense confidence, but being a defensive member, they're going to go out and do their job now and hold them to 3 and hopefully let the offense get back in some good field position.
Ladakeo, the tackler on the last play for BYU, the junior from Hawaii. 2nd and 5. It's a pitch to Toy, the tailback, turns the corner, is short of the first down, gained 3, maybe 4.
3rd and 1. 3rd down and 1.
Have 3rd and short yardage coming up.
Looks to me like they're going to test BYU on the ground and see what they're going to give up. This is a little off-tackle play that BYU tried to string out, and Rob Ladanko coming up from his safety position, Jeff Sprouse from his corner position, make the play.
3rd and 1 for the Huskies, out of the eye. It's Toy, the tailback, and he gets the first down and a couple more yards. When BYU played... check this. Watch this first.
Straight handoff, little
back lead.
When BYU played Texas A&M a few years ago in Houston, you had ice and fans on the sideline to fight the heat and the humidity. Notice Washington has big fans down by their bench.
Yeah, anything to stay cool while you're on the bench, anything helps.
1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. BYU ahead 7-0, first quarter. Millen will pass on first down. Quick one to his fullback, or his tailback, Toy. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all. You got Sean Knight there, and Kurt Gavea turned it in.
Leon White did a good job of coming up and turning that play in.
Looks like we got someone down. Sean?
That's Sean Knight.
Sean's down.
He's struggling a bit to get back up. In fact, he's shaken up out there. Sean Knight. Sean, broke his arm before the season started this year.
Broke his ankle before the season started the year before.
And so he did not start. Ty Mattingly started the opener.
And got a few bells ringing right now.
George Curtis out there. Let's see if we can see where it happened. Ken Smith, Ladakeo. There's Sean on the bottom. It looks like he may have had that broken arm rolled over.
I think it's his head, to tell you the truth. I think he's hearing a few bells right now, getting up kind of slow.
Sean's one of those types of guys, he's not afraid to stick his head in there on anything. I think the Huskies, what they've got to do now is what they want to do. Control the ball, get 5 or 6 yards on the ground each carry, and march off, keep BYU's offense off the field and run the clock down.
Next week, BYU plays at Temple. It'll be live on Channel 5 in this area. And Washington plays at Houston next week. 2nd and 10.
Looks like could be a pass.
Millen, no, he gives it up the middle. They opened a good hole up the middle. He's all the way in the secondary. Breaking tackles. He's down to the BYU 45. Fumbles the football. It's still free. BYU has it. No. They will rule the ball was down before the fumble. So it'll be back to the Cougar 44-yard line, and there's a good run up the middle.
Let's take a look at it here on isolation. It's just a little misdirection play, and the fullback takes the ball and goes the opposite way, and he broke through the first line of defense and got all the way into the secondary, got down there, and it looks like Rob Ludenko stripped him of the ball, but they called him down before he caused the fumble.
Here's a long pass play coming up, and it is incomplete down at the goal line. In fact, it was out of bounds. Sproul's covering on the play against Lonzel Hill. So they went for the TD.
Second 10.
Lonzel Mo Hill has the speed to go deep, and it didn't surprise me a bit to see him go deep this early in the game.
Second and 10 on the BYU 44-yard line. Cougars ahead 7-0. Millen with the football, gives to his tailback, slipping out to the left, and
Kurt Gouvet again.
Gouvet knocked his feet out from under him.
I'll tell you, it's hard to run a sweep on this team with the two outside linebackers we got.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how many times I would
Here it is.
try and run that off-tackle play to that side with Gouvet over there. You got Steve Sanders over there making
Doesn't get much easier to the other side either with Leon White.
Third down, about 8 on the BYU 42-yard line. And now the crowd getting with it. Cougars ahead 7-0 in the first quarter.
Passing situation.
Millen fakes a handoff. He's back to throw. He throws it over the middle. He completes it. But I don't think it's enough for the first down.
It's going to be close.
It's one of those right foot, left foot spots. You can see here early, Jay and Jim, that they're testing us over the middle. They're gonna see just what those linebackers, those inside linebackers, how they can pass coverage. So far, they've been pretty effective.
Steve Sanders tackled Rod Jones, the tight end. So it is fourth down, a half yard to go for the first down on the BYU 34.5-yard line.
Two tight ends.
Here's the handoff, and they get it. Down to about the 35-yard line as David Toy, the tailback, shoots through, and Washington on the move now. The pretty good offensive drive.
Yeah, that time they ran right at Sean Knight's Ty Mattingly side. Ty Mattingly, who came in for Sean Knight, ran right at him.
Sean comes back in right now. Sean just came back in, and Mattingly out of the game at defensive tackle. First and 10 on the Cougar 30-yard line. Millen, there's the pitch back. It's fumble. It's fumble. BYU's got it. Boy, dropped the football. It looked like a Cougar. It hit him in the leg, and Jason Buck dropped on the fumble. Well, last week it was turnovers that hurt BYU. Maybe they'll help him today. He just plain dropped it.
You know, Jay, I think he saw Jason Buck breaking through the line, and I think just for a split second he took his eye off the ball, and that's what caused the fumble. And Jason then, of course, was all
both these teams know what turnovers about. It hurt Washington too, and their 31-17 loss to Oklahoma State last year.
Cougars
last week.
First and 10 on their own 39. Then they lead 7-0. Bosco will throw on first down. Pretty good protection. Over to the sideline. It's caught by Haymouli, and Haymouli slipped one tackle and gains 8 yards.
I think that time Robbie was initially looking downfield, and Locke comes out of the backfield as a kind of a outlet receiver, and after looking downfield and finding the pretty good coverage, he just dumped it off to Locke, and Locke turned it a 4 or 5 yard play into a 6 or 7 yard gain, about 8 yards there.
David Rill made the tackle. 2nd and 2 for BYU. Second about 1.5 yards actually. Ball near midfield. Bosco to pass on second down. Here it is. It's caught. It'll be a first down. Lakay Haymouli caught it and moves to the 43-yard line of Washington.
That was just a little 3-step drop by Robbie, and unload it right now to Lakay. I think the defensive backs for Washington are dropping off and so concerned with Glenn Kozlowski and Mark Bellini and Vi Sikahema that they're dropping off too quickly. And if they're gonna give BYU the short pass over the middle, BYU's going to take it all day.
Jackson and Rill were in on the tackle on the last play. First down, Brigham Young on the Washington 44-yard line. That's Bellini in motion left side. Bosco back to throw. Does throw, completes it to Bellini, down and in.
It's going to be close to a first down.
Yeah, he's down on the 33. I think it is a first down.
I think so.
Darrell Hall, the tackler, along with Albert Tufono. Bellini might be the fastest player on the Cougar team. He's one of them.
Yeah, that play was just designed to just run straight down the field, split the zone, split the seam in the zone, and just run to a certain spot, and the ball's right there.
One thing I think that's hurting Washington right now is they're not really getting a pass rush. I heard Coach James talk that he thinks when Bosco's at its best is when teams blitz against them.
Up the middle is Heimuli, the fullback, just bowling straight ahead. And he gains maybe 3 or 4 yards. You know, one of the big guys in their defensive line is Reggie Rogers, whose brother played at UCLA. You guys probably played against him.
That's right.
He went to Washington as a basketball player, played for 3 years. He's 6'7", 245.
Converted linebacker.
Yeah, they talked him into coming out for football. Yeah, and he played linebacker, didn't he? Then they moved to defensive line. He's number 51.
Looks like a great athlete.
Second down play. Bosco under rush. Intercepted. He was hit as he threw the ball. Intercepted at the 20. Back up to the 40. Tackled from behind at the 43-yard line. Well, there's another turnover. Darrell Hall intercepted. And I think Robbie was hit as he threw it.
One thing I just said is I thought that was hurting Washington with lack of pass rush right here. They blitz. Looks like the strong safety coming right up. Hits Robbie right as he releases the ball.
Bellini was open back there, too.
Nice saving tackle there by Dave Tidwell.
Well, we have 4:50 left to play in the first quarter of the game. Each team with 1 turnover now. The Cougars fumble recovery. And Washington has a interception. The Huskies ready to go. 1st and 10. Okay, we have a running play on the first down up the middle, but a flag was thrown in the middle of the line and holding called on Washington.
What does that do to a defense, Jim? What does that do to a defense when on a first down play you get a penalty and sets the offense back a good 10 yards?
Well, I think definitely, they can just kick it back and you're either going on a first down, you're either going to expect a screen or draw or some type of passing play. The defensive linemen can just pin their ears back and get after a pass rush.
So more or less you're thinking pass on this play.
Possibly draw. Draw is also.
That makes it 1st and 20 for the Washington Huskies, trailing 7-0. Dillon on first down, looking for a pass. Little swing. It's caught out there, out to the 35, up to the 40. Nice run all the way to the 45-yard line. So they gained back the 10 plus a couple. They lost on the penalty. Ken Smith, the tackler for BYU.
That screen play is designed to go for a touchdown.
Leon White's coming on the blitz right here. Just dump it off to the back.
22 is Vince Weathersby. He's a freshman, but redshirted last year. 2nd and 8 for the Huskies at the 45-yard line. Their own. High formation. Dillon gives it right up. It's fumbled! Fumbled! BYU has it. He sort of went in the air, was hit hard, and the ball just kept going, and Rob Lodenko has it.
Maybe we can see here on the replay. It looks like he wants to go up over the top, and he just catches a shoulder pad, and the ball flips right out, right into Rob Lodenko's hands.
If he would have caught that, he might have gone for a few yards.
Lodenko's got great speed and an outstanding athlete. And
well, we're 2-1 in the turnover category.
And we've been one of the poorer teams in the WAC so far on that category this year. Well, the Cougars will have the ball at midfield, 1st and 10 on their own 48.5-yard line, leading 7-0. Sikahema and Heimuli in the backfield. Bosco will pass on first down. This was incomplete. There's also a flag down.
Looks like it's going to be holding, I think.
Robbie had to unload in a hurry, and he tried to hit Heimuli. Somebody bearing down right on him, and then a flag was dropped.
Yeah,
I think we got holding on Dave King.
Dave King there, his man just got a corner on him and headed upfield towards Robbie. And if all else fails, rather than let your quarterback take a hit that he's not going to be able to remain in the game, it's best just to reach out there and grab onto his jersey. And that's what Dave did. And it's going to cost him, but it might have cost him more if he would have let him go.
I'll tell you, I don't know if it's best. One thing as a defensive lineman that you hate more than anything is those offensive linemen grabbing your jersey, Craig.
But they don't do that, do they, Craig?
No.
Okay, there's the walk-off against BYU.
Jim never minded getting held playing out there.
Didn't even slow him down, did it? Okay, 1st and 20, Brigham Young now on their own 38.5-yard line. They lead 7-0, 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Do you know what college team, major university, has the best winning record during the 80s in the United States?
I'm going to have to go with BYU on that one.
BYU first, Nebraska second, Georgia, Southern Methodist, and Washington the 5th best record in the 80s.
Tell you, not bad.
Oh. Not quite. Great effort by Kozlowski, but the pass was in back of him. Boy, he scooped it up from one side and almost caught it. That'll make it 2nd and 20.
That was just a little play where Kaz and Bellini go out and they cross, and Robbie unloads it to Kaz, and usually it's a sure thing, but that time the ball was thrown just a little bit behind him, and Kaz couldn't quite hang on to it.
The Cougars have scored on a touchdown pass in 37 consecutive games now. That's an NCAA record. Bosco to throw. Tipped in the air and out of bounds. Williams covering.
Looks like it's going to be roughing the passer on Reggie Rogers.
Yeah, the flag's dropped back there. Reggie's a little upset over it. That is the rule, or the ruling. I believe that's an automatic first down.
Yep.
This is the play that was so effective against UCLA. It was this little crossing pattern by Vi Sekahama.
Yeah, Reggie didn't even look close when Robbie released the ball.
Let's listen to the ref here.
Okay, it's a 15-yard penalty, but an automatic first down.
That's it. We went from 1st and long to
1st and 10.
1st and 10.
On the Washington 46-yard line, the Cougars ahead 7-zip. Yeah, Bosco quarterback, Hemuli Sikahema in the backfield. Kaz is in a slot to the right. Gets Norberg wide to the right. And Bosco back to throw on first down. Here's the pass. He completes it to Glenn Kozlowski. Glenn fighting for extra yardage, but he's down to the 40.
I'll tell you, Glenn is such a competitor. He's not satisfied with anything. Look at him over there.
You know, that's one of the things that so impressed me about Glenn Kozlowski is, you know, 90% of the receivers you see today, they'll catch the ball, they'll step out of bounds, they'll think that's enough yardage. But Glenn's the type of guy, he'll turn back in, fight for every single yard he can get.
Ron Milas made the stop. An interesting thing today, Milas wears number 12 on defense. The quarterback, Millen, wears number 12 on offense. 2nd down and 4 for BYU. It's the draw, and it won't get too much this time.
I don't know if you noticed that time, Jay, but the last 2 times BYU's offensive line have been going from an up position. I don't know, usually last year when we went from an up position, it was because the other team was blitzing so much and you could see better. And I think this is what they're doing now is they're going from an up position to try and pick up those blitzes and the twist that the defensive line might be doing.
3rd and 3 for BYU. Washington under Coach James, known for very good defensive teams, very hard-hitting teams. Bosco bootlegging, looking. Now he gets the pass up. Wide open is Malini down to the 18-yard line. Robbie was hit hard as he threw the ball. He pumped a couple of times, and suddenly Malini opened up. Darrell Hall tackled him.
That's a great play in itself, but when Robbie rolls out right here, fakes once, draws the defense people towards him, and there's Trevor wide open.
I don't know how you can get that open.
That was a super job by Robbie Bosco that time. A great job by maintaining his poise and getting the ball to Malini.
Looked like Mark Bellini in the end zone at the Boston College game.
1st and 10 on the 18-yard line. A sweep, Tui Pelotu. Trying to turn the corner, does not get much, maybe a yard.
The same play they scored on, Jay, earlier, just run to the opposite side of the field.
David Rill stopped it.
You see 66 there going, David King pulling out and making a block, but there seemed to be more white jerseys up there that time, and maybe they were looking for that type of play.
I think, too, he's a lot like Kelly in a lot of ways. He has a lot of speed, runs the sweeps well, where Vi's more of the elusive type runner. He's got a lot of good moves, a lot of cuts.
1 yard gain, 2nd and 9, Brigham Young.
They've stacked the defensive middle line.
Bosco to throw, gets it off. It's caught by Sikahema. Sikahema pulls forward to the 13-yard line. That pass was well thrown because Sikahema was well covered.
Yeah, it was a great catch by Vi, great pass by Robbie. It's that little crossing pattern by Vi coming out of the backfield.
Looks like they had a blitz coming.
Just to test their linebackers, how they're covering. Vi does a great job of catching the ball and then fighting for a few extra yards.
And DeMoy Williams tackles him. The Cougars have 3rd down, about 4.5 yards for a first down, and 13 yards for a touchdown, and we have a timeout call. So BYU calls timeout. They lead 7-0. We have 22 seconds left to play in the first quarter. We'll be back right after this. 3rd down, 4.5 for BYU, 13 for the touchdown. Cougars up by a score of 7-0. Bosco back to throw. Here's the pass. It's complete. No, he dropped the ball. Kozlowski. You don't see that very much.
I was just going to say, be sure and watch that because I don't think you'll see too many of those again.
It would have been a first down.
One thing about Koz, when they hit his hands, he usually catches them.
Good pass protection by the offensive line right there.
Right there.
Should have been caught.
It was too easy for him, I think. Too easy.
I think sometimes that's true, Jim. I think sometimes the ball's got to be 4 or 5 yards out of reach before Glenn will catch it.
Well, the Cougars will try for the field goal. Going with Gary Webster, who's made 1 of 2 this year. He'll be kicking from the 25, so it's a 36-yard attempt. Here's the kick, and it's off to the left. The snap was placed down, right, a low snap, and he didn't get the placement down. So BYU comes away empty this time. After exchanging turnovers, the Cougars moved the ball downfield very nicely, but they don't get any points out of it. We have 16 seconds to play in the first quarter. Brigham Young still ahead by a score of 7-0 over the University of Washington.
They're staying.
Coach Don James at the University of Washington is in his 11th year. He's won 86, lost 32 there. His teams have been first or second in the Pac-10 for 8 straight years. They've been in 6 straight bowls, too.
Super job.
1st and 10. Washington. That's the pitchback to Toy, the tailback. Turns the corner, gets maybe 2 yards.
It's a great job by Laticale coming up and taking on the block and turning it back inside and making a short gain out of it.
Jay McDonald's also in a linebacker now and on that play. That ends the first quarter of the football game. 2nd and 8 play coming up.
BYU in a 3-4 defense.
That's the tailback Toy, and he turns the corner, might have the first down. Jeff Sprouse came up and knocked him off his feet, but he kept going forward, gained it 2 or 3.
Yeah, that play's designed to get outside and get 5 or 6 yards, and Jay McDonald just missed him on the inside there. Jeff Sprouse came up and put a good hit on him, but he, like you said, Jay, he fell forward.
Not quite enough for the first down. It's 3rd and inches for the first down.
This is where you got to dig in and get down low and stop any kind of penetration.
It's the pitchback to Toy again. And he had a good second effort to make the first down.
Jeff Sprouse came in and made the hit behind the line, but it was that extra effort. Got him across for the first down.
Toy is a sophomore, 210-pounder from Mountain Home, Idaho. He was a reserve last year, and they say he's a big and fast runner.
A quick little pitch out.
Here it is. Jeff Sprouse comes up, puts his head down. The extra effort got him the first down.
1st and 10, Washington on their own 31-yard line. Millen, a long count. Second quarter just getting underway. He has the ball, looking to pass. Here it is upfield. Incomplete. It looked like, again, a ball that should have been caught.
Yeah, he was there. It looked like that ball should have been caught. He was open. There were 3 or 4 defenders around him in the zone, but it looked like he had found the seam, and play designed to go for about 15 yards. Ball should have been caught, Jay.
It's David Trimble, a senior from Yakima, Washington.
I'll tell you, that was right there.
He's a young man who's played professional baseball and also college football. Second down call right up the middle. Not too much gain this time. It's like a new fullback in there. No,
That's
it's
just a little,
Tony Covington, tailback.
little reverse handoff by Millen, right up the middle. BYU stopped it up, did a fine job.
Okay, third down now, and 6 for Washington on their own 35-yard line. Millen sends a man in motion to the left side.
Looks like it could be a blitz coming. Yes, it is. A little pressure.
Here's his pass. He completed it to midfield. Jeff Sprouse made the hit, but Hill caught it. And the Huskies come up with a big third down play.
Here it is. Laticao's up. Blitz was coming. Looks like a twist. Ladd pulls for Ken. Almost.
Well,
He's wide open downfield.
He stayed in that pocket nicely that
Yeah,
time.
I was just going to say, Hugh Millen did a great job of just standing in the pocket, stepping up, throwing off his forward foot. Just a nice play by the quarterback that time.
The ball right at the 50-yard line, 1st and 10. And it's a running play to the right side. Good outside speed to turn the corner, knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line for BYU by Rodney Thomas. And Toy, the ball carrier, that was a good run.
Yeah, Toy did a good job. Usually Rob Ladenko, if you look here on the replay, Rob Ladenko comes up strong here, makes a hit, but Toy does a nice job of defending him off and getting downfield for extra yardage.
Another first down, Washington on the BYU 38. The Cougars got downfield right toward the end of the first quarter and missed a scoring opportunity. Millen, a quick pass out on the flat to the left side. Flag goes down. Hay breaks the tackle. He's to the 20. McDonald catches him from behind.
Good tackle
but
by
there's
Jay.
a flag down at the 35-yard line.
Possible holding. Let's hope.
Looks like it's against Washington. That would have been a gain all the way down to the 15-yard line.
It looked like they had a little motion.
The penalty is on Washington. Break for BYU. We're talking a little while ago about Coach James and his record at Washington. BYU coach Lavelle Edwards has won 9 straight WAC championships, and Cougar teams have been in 7 consecutive bowl games. Hey, they still have a streak going, by the way. The 25 one was snapped last week, but when you get into league play, BYU has a streak of 22 consecutive league wins.
Well, I'm sure they'll keep that alive.
Near side.
1st and 15 for the Huskies on their own the BYU 42-yard line.
Ty Madeline's back in for Sean Knight.
Millen with the ball. That's the fullback up the middle. Gains the 5 they lost on the penalty.
2nd and 10.
Let's take a look here at Jason Buck. Comes inside.
Down the line of scrimmage. Good play.
Does a nice job. Looks a lot like Jim Herman.
That's right.
Tony Covington, number 39, the fullback, was the ball carrier in the last one. 2nd and 10 for Washington.
BYU's gone into an eagle defense.
There's the pass out on the flat. Knocked out of bounds as he caught the ball. Jeff Sprouse for BYU came up quickly and knocked Dave Trimble out of bounds.
So they're kind of picking on Sprouse over there these last few downs. Maybe just playing the receiver back a little too far, and they're going to see what they can get.
These quick passes are hard to defend. You can't really get a pass rush to put any pressure on the quarterback. He just steps back, receiver goes down a few yards, turns out, and boom, it's right there.
3rd and 8 on the 36-yard line of Brigham Young.
Big play right here.
Millen back to throw on 3rd down. Here's his pass. Nice catch. No, he's out of bounds, I guess. Out of bounds. Jeff Sprouse made the hit on Lonzel Hill, who's protesting, he was knocked out of bounds.
That is a questionable call. Like you said, he could have been knocked out of bounds. It's a judgment call for the referee. If he feels that he's going to come down inbounds with the ball. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you.
Well, that's close.
That is a close call. I think they might have a right to argue that just a little bit, but we'll let it slide this time.
Once again, they're picking on Sprouse over there on that left corner.
Punting situation. Low snap, but he got it. Here's the kick. And it'll go into the end zone. Good coverage by Washington. BYU just letting the ball go. Thane Cleland was the punter for Washington. Averages 44.5 yards a punt. So the BYU defense holds. And the Cougars will take over 1st and 10 of their own 20. There's timeout on the field. 11:37 to go in the first half. BYU ahead 7-0. First down, BYU on their own 20. Ahead 7-0. Running play, Heimuli. Hit hard at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Well, there's just nothing doing that time, Jay. That little play is designed to go up the middle for 4 or 5 yards, and Washington had it read all the way and just stuffed it right up. You can see the linebacker come up and lay a good hit on Lake and just stopped him in his tracks.
Coach Edwards had the feeling, there's some statistics for you, that UCLA and Washington are a lot alike. Good defensive teams, but maybe UCLA a little bit more speed, Washington maybe a little bit harder hitting team.
I would think so.
Second down, Bosco to throw on second. Here's the pass. That's to Bellini to the 40-yard line and a first down.
It's a penalty flag on the field, Jay. I'm not sure what for, but they only rushed 3 people. It might have been holding.
Cougar players are applauding, however.
He's clapping.
No, it looks like it's against.
Could be offsides.
Offsides.
Yep, it's offside on Washington.
I think they called on Reggie Rogers. Looks a little upset, but I noticed before it looks like he was hugging the ball a little bit.
Ron Modest, the tackler.
You notice they drop everyone off the ball. Like they only rush 3 people now. Mark Bellini just finds the seam there. Nice catch.
Well, you talk about it a lot. You give Bosco time to throw the football, and you can have some trouble.
Oh, yeah, I've always said you only bring 3 people and give Robbie the time to throw. He'll pick you apart all day.
1st and 10 from the 40, a 20-yard gain. Sweep to the right side. No, a pass.
Gosh.
Has a man down there and overthrew him. Or underthrew him. There was 2 men there.
I know.
Kozlowski and Bellini.
Right between both of them.
Right between them, and Sikahema threw it. Well, they went for a bag of tricks a little bit here.
Yeah, a little Chicago Bears Walter Payton play.
First thought we were going to see a replay of the Holiday Bowl. It looked like Robbie started to roll out. But I looked downfield instead of back to Rob.
The Cougars have used that play several times in recent years, but a lot of the time when they've done it, they put a quarterback in. Fowler did it against Pittsburgh. Steve Young did it in a Holiday Bowl game.
Vi must have been had a good arm in practice this week.
Second down and 10.
Here comes blitz.
Bosco gets it off, and it's caught. Bellini at the 40-yard line, and Robbie was hit as he threw it. He kind of floated that one, but Bellini grabbed it.
Under pressure, great pass.
Well, I'll tell you, that time they brought everything, including the kitchen sink, and Robbie still got the ball off, took a good hit. You know, Jay, I've always said you're going to get hit whether you throw it or not. You might as well make it a good
Both
throw.
middle linebackers come. Nice.
You might as well catch the ball. You're going to get hit whether you catch the ball or not, too. You might as well catch it.
Tim Peoples did the hitting. And Brigham Young with the first down on the Washington 40-yard line. This game today live on ABC television. That's the draw. And it's Heimuli who busts forward to the 35-yard line. That time you saw his strength as he put his head down and went forward.
We can take a look at the center, number 57, Keith McCullough, on that play. He just did a super job of moving his man out. He blocked to the left and
simple draw.
Drove his man right down the line.
I don't envy those guys.
Lake Heimuli.
He's got some big, strong legs on him.
Cougar junior running back. Second down and 4 for BYU on the 34 of Washington. Same play. No gain. Well, at least the same handoff, not the same play, but
yeah, a little delayed draw and didn't fool anybody on Washington's side.
Steve Alford defensively was not fooled at all. So it's third down and About 6 for BYU. The ball on the 36.
Pretty high on this Steve Alford. He's filling some big shoes. Ron Holmes was their consensus All-American last year.
They've had great men in that position for the past 3 or 4 years, put them into the NFL.
Third down, 2 setbacks. They're split. Bellini goes in motion to the left. Bosco back to throw. 3-man rush.
Penalty flag.
Lots of time. Robbie starts to run the ball, and they get him, but there is a penalty flag down.
Looks like Glenn Kozlowski got tied up with one of the defensive backs there. I don't know if that might be the penalty or situation or not.
We're waiting for the call.
Talking to the Washington guys.
Yeah, Locke's clapping his hands. It must be against.
That's ineligible receivers. No. Well, what is it? You have to check that one when you use that signal on the defense. What is it?
It might be an illegal chuck by the
it's
defensive
some kind of
back.
procedure.
Looked like Glenn Kozlowski went out to run his route and got tied up.
Illegal participation.
Okay.
Which can be too many players on the field. Can be several things. We couldn't hear what he said, did you?
I think he said illegal participation.
Well, it's a big break for BYU, whatever it was.
Too many men on the field? No.
It could be, and that's what was called against BYU, I think, at Georgia when it hurt you.
Also Baylor.
Oh, yeah, Baylor. That's right. Both places, I believe. First and 10, BYU. Bosco to pass. Throwing for the end zone.
He's got a man.
Tipped away at the last moment. Kaz had a hand on it, but I think it was...
Fine defensive play coming over, breaking up at the last minute. It looked like it was right there.
Ron Milas. It looked like it might have been a touchdown for a moment, and I believe Milas just did tip it. He did. Good play by Ron Milas.
Super job, coming all the way from his free safety position, just running full speed and got there just in the nick of time.
I was just about to say,
Second and 10.
Hugh Millen on a fine play.
That's confusing when they have.
That is unusual. I've never heard of that before.
2 number 12s.
Second and 10 on the 21-yard line. Robbie to throw again. Over to Heimuli. Heimuli to the 20, breaks a tackle and slips down inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. It was a good effort by Heimuli.
Now, I'll tell you why that play didn't go, Jay. The offensive line is supposed to block their man for 2 or 3 seconds and release them. When the left side of the line went to release their men, the defensive men held on to the offensive lineman, wouldn't let him go out on the screen. And therefore, Locke was on his own out there, but made good of it.
Ron Hadley, the tackler, at his 3rd down and 6 for BYU. On the 17-yard line. The Cougars have been threatening all the first half, but have only 1 score. Bosco back to pass on 3rd down. Sets and throws, and he's out of bounds. It's incomplete. Great grab.
Great catch.
But he's out of bounds. Well, the Cougars, this is about the 3rd time they've been down there, got 1 score. Missed a field goal earlier. They'll try another field goal.
A little crossing under pattern by Kozlowski under Bellini.
Great one-handed catch.
Great one-handed catch. Look at that athletic ability.
He was trying to stay in bounds, but he couldn't do so.
What a prospect this Glenn Kozlowski is.
It's like Glenn was shaken up on the play. He's going off the field by himself, but trainer George Curtis comes out to help him off. Here is Gary Webster to try the field goal. He's 1 for 3 this year, has missed 1 in this game. Wilcox holding. Shumway, the deep snapper for BYU.
2 bad snaps in a row, or bad snaps or bad holds. Let's see how this one goes.
35-yard field goal attempt. Webster, a transfer from Ricks.
Good snap.
The kick is up there. Looks pretty good. It's there.
You have a penalty flag on the field, Jay.
Not only is Gary Webster a transfer from Ricks, but he's also transferred from Washington. He played with the Huskies for a while. I think he stayed there a spring, decided to transfer down to BYU.
Washington was offside on the play. But I think BYU will keep the 3 points this time. The penalty would not give BYU a first down. If it would have given them a first down around the 10-yard line, then you might have taken the points off the board and tried for the touchdown.
It's always tough to take points off the board.
As it is, BYU leads by a score of 10-0 now, so they do get points out of it this time. 7:48 left to play. in the first half of the football game. Brigham Young 10, Washington nothing. Last drive for BYU, getting the field goal, 80 yards, 9 plays, 3 minutes 46 seconds, and the Cougars lead by a score of 10-0. And Darrell Franklin is back deep for Washington. Kicking off for the Cougars is Mark Ormsby. Washington's had only one scoring threat in the game. They did get down in possible scoring territory and fumbled and gave the ball up. BYU's been down 3 times, got a field goal, a touchdown, and then missed a field goal the one time. 10-0 Brigham Young. Here's Ormsby's kick. High and deep into the end zone, about 8 yards. No return. So Ormsby, guys, is getting the hang of it now.
Yeah, he's starting to get some good kicks. He had a little trouble at the first there against UCLA, and he's really got the hang of it now. Jim?
Here's Lemma Harrington on the kickoff. A lot of times as a younger player, where you make the team and get some time to play is on special teams. Get to show your stuff, go down there and bang some heads. Here's Lemma running down. Not too many people around this time. Looks like he's having a nice little sprint.
A sophomore
in shape
on that BYU team.
Good-looking player. I'm sure we're going to hear from him in the future.
So he's got a twin brother, and they are identical.
1st and 10, Washington on the 20-yard line. Millen, the quarterback. Back to throw on first down. Sets up and does get it off. Intercepted by Sherman, and he's out of bounds at the 27-yard line. For Mark Sherman.
Nice play.
Let's see, that's his 2nd interception of the year.
I can see some frustration starting to mount on the side of Washington, Jay. It's always a good sign.
Hey,
Here it is.
Look, they're blue all over the place on this.
Like Leon White's come, has got a few times, steps up.
Kenny's good pressure from Kenny Smith. Mark Sherman just comes, picks it off. If Mark Sherman wouldn't have picked it off, Rodney Thomas would have.
So the Cougars with a great opportunity to score quickly here as they have their 3rd turnover against Washington. Bosco 1st and 10 from the 28. Here's the pass, completes it down to the 22-yard line to Vi Sikahema.
That play's designed to pick up 5 to 10 yards. Vi just goes out runs out on the pattern, turns around when he gets to his spot at 5 yards. Robbie gets in the ball, then he turns upfield and gets as many more yards as he can.
And Jim, it's tough for the defense right there. If you've been out on the field and in one play, you're right back out there, and a little bit of a mental letdown.
Definitely. That's probably one of the toughest things to do is stop an offensive team, have your offense turn the ball right over and have to come right back and play tough.
2nd down play. Bosco fakes once, fakes. Now flags go down, and he finally has to run the ball. Probably be holding.
Oh, that dreaded holding call.
Good coverage that time by the Washington secondary.
Tell you, whenever the quarterback stands there for more than 2, 3, 4 seconds, you got to get a little nervous because those offensive linemen, that's a tough job, and many times their hands go where they shouldn't go.
I'll tell you.
Okay, what can you do on offense? Now, they've changed the rule in recent years, which I think is one thing that some people don't agree.
Okay,
they don't understand.
Yeah, if you see here on the replay, everybody's got their hands up in the frame. You don't want to get out on the flaps of the shoulder pads. You want to stay inside like Dave Tidwell, number 60, is trying to do right there.
And that's legal, right?
And that's legal. But once you get on the outside of the shoulder pad or over on top of the shoulder pad, then the ref's going to see your hand up there, and he's going to get suspicious, and he's going to call you for holding.
I don't think I saw a holding penalty there.
That looks pretty good to me. I don't know. Another thing you want to do as an offensive lineman, you want to know where that ref is, where he's standing in the middle of the field. If he's on your side of the field, well, you want to be a little more careful. If he's on the other side of the field, well, then you know you've got a little leeway.
Okay, it is holding, 10-yard walk-off. BYU has 2nd and 12. I guess that was the 5-yard walk-off, was it not?
Must not have been intentional.
5 yards.
5 yards. 2nd down and 12, BYU at the 31. Bosco to throw, 3-man rush. Looks, pumps it downfield, completes it to Kaz. Kaz bulls his way inside the 15-yard line.
What a job by Glenn Kozlowski.
Again, that extra effort, that competitiveness in Glenn is unbelievable.
Bestie Jackson, the tackler.
Robbie drops back. They only rush 3 people. Gives him all day. He sets up, throws off his front foot.
Kaz puts his shoulder down.
Look at that. Instead of stepping out of bounds, Kaz runs right into that guy and fights for extra yardage. What a competitor. You've got to like that.
That's the kind of pass that takes a strong arm to complete. because you're throwing the ball a long way when you throw it across field and towards the sideline. Here's a running play. Lakehemule. He's down to the 5-yard line.
Jay, we've got to get in isolation on Dave King, the left guard, number 66. This is a trap play. If we can get an isolation on the line, take a look at Dave King come down the line, just totally destroy the defensive end for Washington and open up the hole.
6:20 to go in the first half of this game. We'll have a chance to see that one again or not. Lakehemule gained 9 yards. Second down, about a yard and a half. Second, a yard and a half for a first down, 5 yards for a touchdown. By Sikahema on a sweep. Turns inside and scores! There's Sikahema's quickness. He has those very quick feet. The Cougars with their second touchdown of the game, and both of them are on runs by
that's one thing
Sikahema.
Vi likes to do. Start wide, come back in, cut upfield.
Yeah, it's like Jim said. This play is designed to go outside, but Vi has the option at any time when he sees an opening, he can turn it up, and that's exactly what he did. He's great at it. He got it in the end zone. BYU's up by 16 now.
And Webster will try the extra point. He is 6 of 7 this year. Missed his first one. He's made all of them since then. It's placed down. He boots it up there, and it is good. With 5:55 to go in the half, it's BYU 17 and Washington nothing. 5 plays, 23 yards, a minute 16 to get that touchdown. Ormsby, another good kick. About 4 yards into the end zone. No, they will not run it out. Washington has a lot of young players in their squad this year. They have quite a few players who are redshirt freshmen.
Yeah, and you know, a redshirt freshman coming in and playing, there's a lot of pressure on a kid like that. This is his first real look at big-time varsity college football, and it's a lot different from playing JV or playing in a practice game or a practice session.
BYU ahead 17-0. First and 10 on the 20-yard line for Washington. There's a handoff to Toy, and he's had a good game. He got 7 yards this time, sliding off the right side to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, it seems like every time they've gone to Toy, they've got 5 or 6 out of him. He's done a good job.
Akeo and Sanders hitting him on it.
Ken Smith there, the nose guard, playing it down the line.
It's a good play by Ladd right there. Coming over, stuffing the guard, making the play.
2nd and 3. Millen, the quarterback. Here's the handoff to his fullback, and he breaks through and gets the first down. They're now running Tony Covington at fullback. He's a redshirt freshman from Portland. They started Ricky Meyer. Of course, their regular fullback is Rick Fenney, who's a great one, a preseason All-American pick, but he was hurt in the Oklahoma State game and did not make the trip here to Provo. First down, Washington on their own 32-yard line. Millen back to throw. Here's the pass. Completes it to the 43-yard line. Fumble, but I think the ball was going down.
On that, yep.
It'll be enough for the first down. Covington, the fullback, caught that pass. The gain to the 43, maybe the 44-yard line. 5 minutes left to play in the first half of the football game. First down, Washington, from their own 44-yard line. Sent a man in motion to the right, over to the left, I should say. Here's a pitch to that side.
Toss.
No gain this time.
Kurt Gouveia, it's unbelievable. I'm telling you, he is unbelievable. I don't even know why they run the toss or the sweep. Every time he's come up, strung the play out, made the tackle.
And well, Sanders and Ladenko over to help.
That lead man's having a hard time blocking Kurt Gouveia if you watch here. Here comes the lead man. Can't quite make the block. Rob Ladenko's right there. Ladenko and Gouveia, a lot alike. Both very aggressive players.
2nd and 10.
Kurt's on the blitz.
Millen back to throw. Under pressure, lofts it downfield. Nice catch coming back to get it. He had a lot of pressure that time. He got it downfield.
Very close. I almost thought the ball was bad. It looked like he lofted it there.
Looks like David Trimble.
And Rodney Thomas tackled him.
Rodney Thomas made the tackle. A lot of pressure on Hugh Millen this time. A good job of staying in there
Jason
and getting the ball off. Ken Smith right in his face.
All three of them in there.
So Washington with a good drive. They have a first down now on the BYU 36. It's fumbled, but they get it themselves. They've been bothered with the fumble today. That's the third fumble. They've lost 2 of them.
Boy, Jay, you hate to see that as a head coach. You know, you get something going and you get a little time run off the clock and a little ball control going, and then just to have a mishandled handoff.
David Toy's having a few problems holding on to the ball. What is that, his third, fourth? Mishandle of the ball, the pitch, and the fumble.
That's tough to handle for a coach.
2nd and 10 on the 36-yard line. Millen back to pass. Throws it and completes it down to the BYU 28-yard line. Making the diving catch and going out of bounds was number 7, Darrell Franklin.
We're going to take a look at the center here. This is a sprint out pass, so he wants to try and turn Ken Smith to the right. Did a good job, passed him off to the guard, and the guard picked him up.
3rd down, about 1.5 yards to go for the first down. Brigham Young ahead 17-0. Need a lot for Washington if they could get a score before the end of the half.
Big play here, Jay.
Millen with the ball. That's Weathersby, who breaks through and has the first down to the 21-yard line. Good blocking.
I tell you, just about every time on 3rd and short, they run about the same play. Off tackle lead, fullback up the hole, tailback right behind them. They pound out 3 or 4 yards every time.
2:36 left to play in the first half.
There it is.
Now
Tailback just follows the fullback's block.
See the double team on Sean Knight. Did a nice job of splitting it.
Brigham Young University just called a timeout. The defense to regroup a bit. The ball is on the 20-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10 for Washington. Brigham Young leading 17-0. We'll pause, be back right after this. BYU leading Washington 17-0 with about 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. We've just been informed that Ricky Meyer, the backup fullback, is out for the game with an injury. And he was backing up Finney, who was hurt last week. So Covington now in at fullback. And on defense, they have a man out also. Check on defense. It's number 15, Keelan Matthews, a white. A weak side safety is out of the game, too, with an injury. So Washington has the ball, 1st and 10 on the Brigham Young 20-yard line. We have 2 minutes and 36 seconds left to play in the first half of the football game. The Cougars ahead 17-0. Washington trying to get a little momentum by getting a score here.
I think they're doing what they want to do, Jay. I think they're just trying to get some ball control going, and that's what they're doing.
Millen sprinting out to pass. He's hit from behind this time and dropped to the 33-yard line.
Steve Sanders.
He didn't see Steve coming.
Tell you, he came a long way, all the way from the other side.
I'll tell you, that's one thing that's impressive about a linebacker. If you see Steve, he starts on the other side of the field. He gets blocked. He stays in pursuit, follows him all the way across the field, and Millen turns right back into him. That's what pays off. That pays off, that pursuit sometimes, doesn't it?
I tell you, that just jacked the defense up, too. Whenever you get a sack, that's a big, big play.
A loss of 10, 2nd and 20. Millen fakes the draw. He's back to pass.
Pressure.
Flags go down. Here's the pass. It was caught. It would have been a touchdown, but there's a flag down.
It's going to be offensive.
So wait and see what it is.
I think it's holding. I think we got holding. I think Jason Buck was held.
That's what the Cougars defenders are saying. So Washington, with the pass thrown into the end zone, would have been a touchdown. But, of course, you never know. Did the holding open it up? Jason Buck was held.
Let's look here right here and see number 99, Jason Buck. He goes upfield. He throws that arm up in there.
And a hold of his jersey.
He's got a hold of his jersey on the backside, you can see there.
No doubt. That was a correct call.
Beautiful pass, though. All for naught. Coming back.
You know, BYU plays at Washington next year.
Holding on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Next year, September 20th, the Cougars go up to Seattle and play the University of Washington.
I'm sure they'll be looking forward to that game.
Well, they face 2nd and 31 now. With 1:47 to go in the first half.
Well, they've really dug themselves a hole, Jay. They're
back on the 41-yard line now. Cougars show blitz and they back off. Millen back to pass. Here's his throw, and it is caught on the sidelines. Caught by Darrell Franklin, the split end. That'll stop the clock with 1:42 as he went out of bounds.
42. Did anybody get 25?
Jeff Sprouse there, number 25, covering on that. They've been going a lot to Jeff today and testing him, and I think he's been answering the call. He's right there, pushes him out of bounds. Leon White almost picked it off.
3rd and 20 for Washington on the Cougar 31-yard line.
Pretty much know this is going to be a pass or some kind of trick play.
Millen back to throw. The rush is on.
Buck from behind.
He got the pass off just as he was hit by Jason Buck. Boy, is Jason pumped up. The ABC people were kidding Jason yesterday when they took some video of him, asking where St. Anthony is.
Well, that's a super job by Jason. Just great speed as a lineman.
I'll tell you, as a defensive lineman, there's no bigger play than getting a sack. It's like scoring a touchdown for a running back or a nice pass by a quarterback.
Jeff Jager will try a field goal from the 38, so it's a 48-yard attempt. They roll the snap. Here's the kick, and it is good. He kicked it through there. Wow, that's a pretty good kick.
That is a good kick.
So Washington does get on the scoreboard with 1:31 to go in the first half. It's Brigham Young 17. Washington has 3. And again, our thanks to the BYU Cougar Club for the excellent support. About 3,500 members of the Cougar Club around the country right now. They help with the KBYU telecast here by providing the funding, a major portion of the funding, and they help fund the telecast to the LDS stake centers too. Boy, look at that kick.
Boy, Jager put that one right through the uprights.
Jeff Jager kicked that one clear out of the end zone. And you should be well aware that the rule has changed this year. Last year, if you kicked it out of the end zone, it came out to the 30-yard line. They dropped that rule. Not many people like that one.
Oh, that's fine. Well, let's take a look. You know, I just noticed on this last kickoff, Jay, that everybody's starting to get a little more physical out there. I think tempers are starting to flare a little, and guys are trying to get a good shot on the kickoff. And you see Jay McDonald just blast number 24 there, and I think it's going to get a little more physical.
1st and 10, BYU from the 20. Bosco gives him the draw to Heimuli. He gets away from one man, has 5 yards, has 7 yards. Good run by Lakay. Lakay today looking like the Heimuli we saw last year. He's doing some good running.
Boy, Lakay, he's just such a strong, powerful young man that he's hard to bring down. A great job of blocking by the offensive line there.
Nice move there by Lakay.
Little inside move there by Lakay. Little juke got him another extra 3 yards.
1:03 to go in the first half. There's that last scoring drive for the Huskies, their only score of the ball game. BYU ahead 17-3. 2nd down and 2. We're into the final minute of the first half. Bosco will pass. There's a flag down. Robbie's pass is incomplete. Threw it over Norberg's head. May have just stumped that one off.
Another flag.
Game's starting to get a little bit sloppy now, Jay. I don't know if the players are starting to get tired or...
We didn't have many penalties in the Boston College or UCLA game.
No, we didn't, but we've had our share today so far.
This penalty on the Cougars with 42 seconds left to go in the half.
I'll tell you, our offense I think is handling their defense tremendously. I'm really not that impressed with their defense. I thought they were going to be maybe a little bit more physical, a little harder hitting, but I haven't really seen all that much from them yet.
There's a penalty against BYU.
Illegal motion on the offensive team. Still 2nd down.
2nd down now, 8 yards for the first down. 42 seconds to go in the half. And one thing BYU would like to do is run out the clock now without having to punt the ball. Keep possession. One thing Washington is known for is a great rush on kicks. 2nd and 8, BYU. Bosco back to pass on 2nd down. Here it is. Wide open at midfield is Trevor Malini, and he's out of bounds. Now BYU might take a shot at a score.
Yeah, Jay, I don't think they're content to sit back and go in with the score 17-3. I think they're going to take advantage of these last few seconds, try and get down. If they can't get in 6 points, go ahead and try and kick a field goal.
Ron Milas made the tackle on Malini to the Washington 46-yard line. A big gainer and a first down. 35 seconds left to play in the first half of the game. Cougars can score so quickly. Bosco to pass. Good protection.
Great protection.
Got Mark Bellini.
Wide open.
Mark has the ball. Another first down. Inside the 30-yard line.
Definitely in field goal range now. We're going to hopefully at least walk away with this 3 points.
The Cougars do have one timeout left. Tony Zachary tackled Bellini. They're trying to get a play underway. They will not huddle. They're all set to run another play. We have 27 seconds to go in the first half.
That's a super job by Mark, just going down, running past the first set of coverage, cutting right underneath the safeties.
Right over the middle.
Good catch by Mark Bellini.
BYU ready again. Bosco to pass. Good protection. Throws for the sidelines. Kaz had it, but he's out of bounds. Led him just a little bit too much.
Looks just
I'll tell you
almost
what.
just like the other play. Great catch, just a tad out of bounds.
Kaz has 2 great catches in this game that won't show in the book.
That's right. That's right.
17 seconds left to go in the half. They still have time for a shot at the end zone before they go for a field goal attempt. Brigham Young 17, Washington 3. 2nd and 10 at the 27-yard line. Bosco back
Here
to
they
throw.
come on the blitz, Jay.
Yeah, they got to him this time. Robbie could not get away. Somebody slipped right through it. That might end the half. No, they get a timeout call. So Washington with a big defensive play. They're out of field goal range.
No one even touched Tony Dominique on that play, Jay. He came from his offensive linebacker position right through. Free run to Robbie.
3rd down for BYU. 21 for a first down.
We've got a line of receivers up here at the near side of the field, Jay. Kozlowski, Bellini, and Trevor Malini.
And they'll throw it for grabs.
Throwing it up.
Here it comes, and it is incomplete in the end zone. Touched by a Washington Husky player. Closest was Bellini for BYU, and that ends the first half. We're waiting for just a moment before we start. Cougars leading 17-3, outgained Washington 255 yards to 182 in the first half. Robbie was 16 of 23 for 199 yards.
We might mention, Jay, that Temple fell to Penn State 25-27 today earlier.
Boy, Jager has a strong leg. He just kicked that one. It looked like it went through the goalpost and hit the wall in back of the goalpost.
Yeah, he's a super kicker, and I'm sure you're going to hear a lot from him this year.
So Brigham Young receives to open the second half. They're defending the goal to our left or to the north, and will be moving into the fall sun.
Michigan win.
1st and 10, Brigham Young from their own 20. The Cougars ahead 17-3 as we open the 3rd quarter. Bosco will throw on first down. Right over the middle, dumps it off to Haymouli. And he's up over the 30 before he's downed.
First down.
First down, Cougars.
You know, Jay, I can't help but think that their DBs are so concerned from getting beat by Kozlowski and Bellini and Trevor Malini that they're dropping off so quickly that they're leaving the middle open, and Locke just sneaks out of the backfield and dumps it. Robbie dumps it off to him, and you know, it's 5, 6, 7, first 8, 9, 10 yard pickup every time.
First down, Brigham Young to the 31-yard line. Start of the 3rd quarter. Bosco on the draw. That's Haymouli. Skirting to the outside, breaks through. He's up to the 38-yard line. The ball was pulled out of his arms, but that was after he was down. There's no fumble.
I'll tell you, Locke's had a great day so far. A lot of running, a lot of pass receptions, played well.
Watch this pull, if you can see it, by Dave Tidwell come out and take the defensive end Rogers out. And
blocked by Dave Wright.
Opens it up for Locke to get downfield.
8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Bo Yates tackled him. The Cougars on the move to open the 3rd quarter. Robbie will throw. Flag goes down. He throws. Kozlowski's wide open. He caught it at the 34, but there's a flag down.
Looks like it's in that holding area, too.
Yeah, probably against BYU this time. Applauding the players from Washington. So Kaz, who just came up with a big gainer, it'll be called back.
You know, sometimes when the offensive line gets all bunched together like that, you'll trip over somebody's legs, and to stop from falling, you'll reach out and grab a handful of jersey, and they'll get you for that.
Great catch by Kozlowski, but it won't count. 5-yard walk-off.
Okay, let's go 23 blue.
So BYU had 2nd and about 2. So that's a 10-yard penalty. It's 2nd and 12. Cougars lead 17-3. They had good position, 2nd and 2. The penalty makes it 2nd and 12. 2 men wide to the right, 1 to the left, 2 setbacks. Bosco back to throw, 4-man rush. Here's his pass. He hits Kozlowski again, and he's open to the 42-yard line of Washington. Tom Zachary tackled him, and there's no way he shut down a Glenn Kozlowski.
Especially when you have an offensive line that does such a super job as the offensive line did this time. Just isolated each and every man, stopped him up, gave Robbie time to plant and throw off his front foot. You know, and with a receiver like Kaz, it's going to happen.
Would he have been the primary receiver on that all the way?
He was.
1st and 10, BYU on the Washington 43. Malini goes in motion, then comes back the other way. Bosco gives on the draw to Heimuli. There's a big hole.
Nice block.
Oh, wow. He's down to the 34-yard line. Tremendous hole.
Dave King downfield. Got him a few extra yards.
Jay, I'll tell you an interesting thing about why this play works so good. If you watch the nose guard from Washington, you notice he takes a direction to the right, to the outside. And by doing that, he takes himself right out of the play and leaves a big, massive hole in the middle.
DeMoy Williams tackled Heimuli after he gained 9 yards. 2nd and 1, Brigham Young on the Washington 34. Now to the Cougars. The Cougars quickly called timeout. Robbie came up, looked things over, and called time. And he'll walk over and talk to the coaching staff. So there's timeout on the field with 13:18 left to go. 2nd down, a yard to go for the 1st down. BYU with the ball. They go to Heimuli. He's into the secondary, and he has another 1st down. And Heimuli's starting to run wild right now for BYU.
He is having a big day.
The old expression, run to daylight.
Yeah, that was a super job, Jay, by Locke. He headed up the hole and saw that things were clogged up there. He could have got 2 or 3 yards. Instead, cut back to the inside.
Look at that straight arm, too.
And stiff-armed a few guys, picked up another 2 or 3 yards.
1st and 10, Brigham Young on the Washington 23-yard line. Cougars trying to score in a hurry here in the 3rd period with a sustained drive from their own 20. Bosco to throw. Does throw. Completes it. Inside the 20 to the 16-yard line to Vi Sikahema.
Watch here on the replay, Jay. Vi Sikahema, he just runs to a place, runs to a spot, stops, turns around, and waits for the ball. I don't think he was the primary receiver that time. I think he was a secondary receiver, and Robbie just couldn't see anything open downfield and just dumped it off to Vi.
It's amazing. Opposing coaches and all will tell you, Bosco has such an amazing ability to come up the line of scrimmage and see what the other team's going to do, and then to know where everybody is.
Oh, yeah, he does a super job at reading the defense.
2nd down play. Here's the pass. Diving catch by Vi Sikahema for another Cougar 1st down around the 10-yard line. That ball was not well thrown by Robbie. He had to throw in a hurry, and Vi turned it into a reception.
Like I said, there's not that much of a loss losing Kelly Smith. Vi's come in and done a super job, even though we hate to have Kelly on the sidelines. Vi's done a great job and picked up the slack, and what can you say with a guy who puts on a performance like Vi has the last 2 weeks. 1st
and 10, BYU on the Washington 10.5-yard line. 10.5 1st down, or 10 for a 1st down. 10. Hey, that's Lake Heimuli. He's going to score, and he does. He ran right through a tackle at the 4-yard line, and the Cougars have their 3rd touchdown of the game, and they're all on running plays.
Boy, what a super
that draw
job.
play has worked incredible for him. What is that? This series alone.
Go ahead, Jim.
Just simple. Draw. Blockade. Not going to be stopped by one tackler, not at all. Goes in for the touchdown.
Boy, Locke did a
Hey, guys.
Super job, just lowering his shoulder and running right over the top of a Washington defender, right there.
And that's Steve Alford.
Off.
Steve Alford, one of those, and Steve hobbled out of the game after that play.
Well,
in fact, he motioned, hey, get me out of here. Here's the extra point attempt by Webster, and it's good. And BYU has moved 80 yards in 9 plays, 2 minutes, 15 seconds. That's a patented BYU drive. Okay, for BYU, Mark Ormsby will kick off. We have Dave Trimble and Darrell Franklin back deep for the Washington Huskies. And Ormsby's done a good job today on the kickoffs.
Done real well.
Haven't been any returns.
You can just see the confidence building, and he's out there on the field. He just walks with a little more confidence and looks more relaxed, and therefore he's getting a lot better kicks off today.
And Jim, we mentioned it last week, but I get a kick out of it. Coach Edwards from BYU said Ormsby's never played a game of football, but he's played rugby. And if you played rugby, football's a sissy game.
That's it.
Here's his kick. It'll be about 7 or 8 yards into the end zone, and they won't return it.
Well, I'll tell you that nowadays in college football, the kick return has all but almost been eliminated. They tried to, rectify that a little bit last year by keeping the new rule where if you kick it out of the end zone, it comes out to the 30. Either kickers are getting stronger, or
we need to start making the fields a little longer.
That's right.
Washington's star defensive player, Steve Alford, who's really a dominating player, is on the bench right now. I know he was shaken up on that last play, and they're checking him. Whether he'll be able to play or not, he's got ice on his ankle and has his shoe off. 1st and 10 from the 20, Washington. BYU ahead, 24-3. There's a pitch back to the tailback. Turns the corner, has 3 yards. Who's in a tailback now?
Looked like Vince Weathersby,
number 22. He's the redshirt freshman. He got 4 yards out of it. Make it 2nd and 6. I don't know if Washington has the kind of offense where they can score quickly or not. You know, BYU can score in such a hurry.
I don't think they like to, Jay. I think they like more ball control.
2nd down play, Weathersby bulls his way over the 25 to the 27 or 28 yard line.
They're going to have to start putting the ball up, Jay, to rectify the point scoring that BYU's been doing.
Yeah. I'll tell you, last year in the Orange Bowl, their offense seemed to have come around. That's what they had said. Their defense had gotten by a lot of the season, but in the Orange Bowl, the offense sure did shine. And
it was Millen who had started the first 8, then lost his starters role, came back late in that ball game to direct them to the win. 3rd down and 3 for Washington. Millen will pass for the first down. Looking, the pressure's on. Here's the pass. Nice pass. He threw it right between some BYU defenders.
Yeah, beautiful catch by David Trimble.
Under some good pressure, too. Ken Smith was in there with his hands up, trying to distract him a little, but Hugh Millen put it right there on the money.
Well, they come up with a big play that time.
Watch Ken Smith just break
through
like they
got
a twist.
Defensive line stunt. Good concentration by Hugh Millen. Puts it right on the dime.
1st down, Washington at the 40-yard line. Millen at quarterback.
They're bringing everybody on the blitz.
Weathersby takes the pitch, turns the corner, and gains 7.
Uh-oh.
No, he got away. He got away. He's down to the 30. Caught from behind at the 24-yard line.
Nice play by Rob Ledenko.
That's so dangerous, Jay, when they bring everybody up, put everybody up on the line of scrimmage like that, and the ball carrier breaks through the first.
That's what it looks like right here. It looks like they got him shut down. Ladakeo on the blitz almost gets him. Ken Smith makes a good play.
He breaks through that
right
first
here. It looks
little
like
barrier. And then he's off to the races.
He just keeps going. He's caught from behind. Ledenko slows him up, and then Rodney Thomas comes in.
That could be a big play for him right there.
1st and 10 on the 24-yard line. A big gainer.
Big booster for the morale.
Millen with the ball. Gives to his fullback. He's met at the line of scrimmage and racked up pretty good.
That's just that little misdirection play that's designed to get, 3 or 4 yards, and they've only been getting, I think, about 1 or 2 off of it all day long. It hasn't been fooling the defensive line too greatly. You see,
play by the inside linebacker right here. Sits inside. Ladakeo comes in and makes the stick.
Out of the bottom was Sean Knight, too. The ball carrier was Tony Covington. A gain of 2, 2nd and 8 on the Cougar 22-yard line. Millen will throw on 2nd down, swings it over the left to Weathersby. Weathersby gets around the corner and is knocked down at the 14-yard line. They have some quickness.
Yeah, that was a good job. The blockers got out. He kind of outran his blockers that time.
Here it is right here. Jason Buck coming up on the outside.
He gives a little time to set up. Cuts back up into the middle.
Nice move right there.
They'll have to measure and see if it's enough of the first down. Stretch it out. It looks like it's going to be just a little bit short. Just by an inch or so. So Washington with the football down on the BYU 14-yard line now. Cougars leading 24-3. 9 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the third quarter of this football game.
Looks like they've brought in both tight ends, Jay, and they're going to double tight end it and try and squeeze this out here.
BYU has not lost 2 consecutive home games since 1971. They have never lost 2 in a row under Coach Lavelle Edwards at home. And only once in Coach Edwards' coaching career has BYU lost 2 consecutive football games.
Got the short yardage defense, brought in an extra D lineman, and took out a defensive back.
This is where the defense was so great last year.
Third down and an inch. Boy, got everybody stacked in there on both teams.
Play.
The quarterback dives over the top and makes
a flag.
There's a flag down. Millen dove over the top for the first down, but there was a flag down. Now let's see what it is. Waiting for the call. Somebody's offsides. BYU. Cougars were offsides.
I'll tell you, those short yardage plays are tough. The one thing you want to do is whoever really wins the search is probably going to win the down battle. If the defensive line gets off good, knocks the offensive line back a few yards, it's going to be awful tough to have a successful quarterback sneak.
Well, they take the 5-yard penalty, which makes it first and goal on the 9-yard line. So far, through 2.5 quarters, BYU has kept Washington out of the end zone. Let's see if they can do it here now. First and goal on the 9-yard line. Millen, a quarterback, has a motion man slowly coming his way. Gives to Weathersby. Not much gain. Leon White and Rob Ladenko grabbed him, and then Jason Buck was down on the bottom. There was no place to go.
Get things a little heated up there.
Yeah, Rob Ladenko's getting them fired up a little bit. If you watch here, Rob Ladenko comes up strong. Leon White comes in from behind and just grabs him and pulls him back.
There's that defensive surge. All those blue shirts knocking those white guys back.
Second
Leon
down.
Ladenko.
Ladenko's trying to strip the ball.
Second and goal on the 8-yard line for Washington. We have 8:20 left to play in the third period. Brigham Young leading by a score of 24-3.
One of the BYU students, it looks like, co-eds there watching the game along with their mother.
Here's the second down play. Up the middle, bowling his way, stopped at the 5-yard line and pushed back then. That's Tony Covington, the fullback.
Defense is getting a little bit fired up now, Jay. They're gonna make Washington earn every single yard they get.
Right down on the bottom is Steve Sanders.
Just a stray handoff up the middle. Looks like got Jason Buck in there, and I couldn't see who was down on the bottom of those piles. I'll tell you, there's some sore fingers being stepped on down there in the bottom of those piles, huh, Jim?
Third and goal.
Trenches.
Third and goal on the 5-yard line.
It's a big play for BYU.
Here we go. Motion man to the right. Millen still with the ball, looking to throw, sprinting out, running, throws into the end zone. It's caught, but he was out of the end zone. He was out of the end zone when he caught it.
Good call. Good call.
Intended, or it was Rod Jones who caught it, but he was out of the end zone.
Yeah, Jay, I don't think Rod Jones knew where he was. You watch him come out of the off the line of scrimmage here. He breaks through nicely. Rob Ladenko's there covering him. He just runs right out of the end zone. I don't even think he knows where he's at when he catches the ball.
See, his foot's out right there as he comes down.
It's good call.
Another angle, little play action.
It's like a patented BYU play right here down by the goal
guard
line.
out.
Hey, guys, to our camera crew, great work down there, getting those shots.
Beautiful angle.
Fourth and goal on the 5-yard line. Millen still with the football, wants to throw for it. Into the end zone, incomplete. Incomplete. He threw it too tall, but they were well covered in the end zone. And listen to the
coverage by BYU. Look here, a little play action. Miller's just going to set up and pick a receiver in the end zone. He throws it a little too much on the ball. Up over the top. Rodney Thomas is right there to make the play, too.
You know, Rodney is developing into an outstanding defensive player for BYU. He's very quick.
He's really come a long ways, Jay, and I know the coaching staff is very pleased with him.
He's only a sophomore in Chapin, California. Let's take just a moment to thank the BYU Cougar Club for the financial support we receive for our telecast. A major portion of the funding from the Cougar Club. They have about 3,500 members, and you'd enjoy being a member if you're not. They also help with the live telecast to the LDS stake centers around the country. First down play, Heimuli. Heimuli stumbles forwards for 2 or 3 yards as the Cougars try to get a little running room now.
I think the Cougars now are going to try and establish a little bit of a running game on the ground, move some time off the clock, and try and sustain a long drive.
You know, Washington is known for a great kick rush. Do you know how many times BYU's punted in this game?
0 times?
None. That's a good way to avoid the rush, I guess. Huh? Second down and 8 from the 7. And Robbie will pass from the end zone. Here it comes. Sika Hama had it. It would have been a first down, and he dropped it.
Could have been a lot more than a first down, too.
That's true.
Not many people be in front of him.
That's that little crossing play. The Vi comes out of the backfield and just runs across the flat there, and was so effective against UCLA, and could have gone there for some big yards.
Could have had 6 points written on it.
The old story of running before you catch it. I think he took his eye off of it to look upfield and just dropped the ball.
Yeah, started those engines a little too soon.
So BYU has 3rd and 8 from the 7-yard line. Bosco to throw again from the end zone. Here it comes. Incomplete. Intended for a bye again. He had to throw in a hurry this time.
Yeah, that time the defensive line, they ran a stunt and also brought a linebacker. Good blitz by Washington that time.
Here's the attendance
we got someone down, Scott Robinson.
65,476, the official attendance.
Every week at Cougar Stadium.
The Cougars do have an offensive lineman hurt. Scott Robinson is down. Into the game for the first time today to punt is Kevin Towle, the sophomore from Dallas, Texas, who's punted 7 times this year, averaged 39.1 yards per punt.
Well, there's Scotty Robinson getting up. I hope he's okay. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of times where I went down last year where it was a good thing to know you had people like Dr. Brent Prantley over on the sidelines helping you out.
Scott Robinson, 280-pound senior from Palo Alto, 6'5" senior. He's a big one. Well, it looks like he's okay now as he gets over close to the Cougar side. So here's Towle to punt. Towle needs only experience. He has a good, strong leg. One man back deep at the 50-yard line, Eric Lambright. Kicking from 8 yards deep in the end zone. He has the ball.
He bobbled the snap a little bit, Jay.
Trying to kick the knuckleball, too.
Yeah.
Comes down at the 43-yard line. They'll try to run it back. Get some blocking to go to the outside. And there's a clip. He gets free, but a clip has been called.
I think it's going to be all
it
called
was a
back.
very obvious clip.
Very obvious clip.
The ball into the end zone.
As a matter of fact, that was Kevin Towle down there trying to make the play. Got clipped from behind.
It was Ron Milas who ran it back, and once he got outside, they had the wall up there. But I think everybody saw that clip.
Yeah, I don't think there was
coming up right there.
There's a few questionable blocks there on that run back.
There's another one.
Jay McDonald on the chase, all-state basketball, baseball, football player from Ogden.
So that'll be 15 yards from the point of the clip. See, it was a 42-yard line. Instead of a touchdown, it'll put the ball back into Washington territory.
I'll tell you, between turnovers and penalties, Washington's just being killed. There's 2 penalties on 2 big plays.
Clipping penalty on the run back. First down.
That's their second touchdown called back because of a penalty.
The holding on the long pass.
Right.
And now we got a clip.
But I think it was pretty obvious on this one. The clip is the one thing that did spring him free.
That's true.
First and 10, Washington at midfield on their own 43-yard line. BYU leading 24-3. Millen pitches to Weathersby, turns the corner and gains about 7.
Good job there by Mark Sherman coming up from his strong safety position and making the play.
Weathersby, the ball carrier.
Got some good yards on that.
The running game keeps that clock going, and it's in BYU's favor now. With 6:06 to go in the third quarter. The Cougars ahead 24-3. Washington 2nd and 4 at the 49-yard line of the Huskies. Millen fakes the draw. He's back to pass. Throws under pressure. Good catch down at the Cougar 42-yard line.
Good catch by Lonzel Hill.
There were 3 BYU players there, and Millen threaded the needle, fired it in there.
Little play action.
Ken Smith right here. Getting in there, swims back. Just a little late. Threads the needle. Lonzel.
Millen completed 52% of his passes last year. First and 10. Millen with the ball. May have been a mix-up that time. He'll run it. It looked like he wanted to hand it off to Weathersby, and Weathersby wasn't looking for the ball.
Yeah, Weathersby looked back at him like he wanted me to take that.
Yeah. So he ran it himself. You know, Millen, see, didn't he walk on? Right. He was a JC walk-on from Santa Rosa Junior College. Talked him into letting him have a shot at playing it, and worked up to the point where he was a starter last year.
Well, that's a great example for the young kids out there who have a desire to play but might not have all the tools. But perseverance can take you a long ways. 2nd and 9
on the BYU 39. Late in the third quarter, the Cougars ahead by 21 points. Millen looking for the quick pass, fires it out on the flat, completes it to the BYU 34-yard line. Rodney Thomas on the tackle right away. Let's see, to Hill. Lonzel Hill again.
It's just a little out pattern designed to pick up 4 or 5 yards and get out of bounds. And
tell you, like we said before, those are just so hard to defend. You can't really get a pass rush. Quarterback doesn't have to be rushed or anything, just steps back.
There are a number of players in the Washington team whose fathers played ball, and Lonzel's father was J.D. Hill, a star professional player. Millen to pass, the rush is on. He swings it over. It's caught by Weathersby, and Weathersby will be wrestled down short of the first down. Leon White forced that play.
Leon White came in strong. If you get this on replay, you watch Leon White blitzing from his linebacker position, comes in, and they throw the screen out to Leon's side, which means the screen should be effective. It should go without Leon out there. But you get great pursuit here from Ladakeo, and he comes in, he breaks off the block and makes the tackle. It's a super job of pursuit.
4th down and 3. 4th and 3 on the BYU 33.
Oh, this is a big play, Jay.
Millen will pass for it. Does throw. It's got a man. Good play that time. Sanders covering on it, and he almost got to the ball, but Millen made a good throw to Rod Jones. First down.
Well, I think they're testing our linebackers on the inside a little bit. I think we missed Kerry Whittingham somewhat in there. You know, Kerry's quite a deceiving player. You may not hear from him in the game, but then you look at the statistics after the game, and he's all over him.
Got a lot of speed.
3:17 left to play in the third period. Washington with a first down on the BYU 24-yard line. They have good field position right now, but they haven't been able to turn it into any points yet. That's Weathersby trying to get outside. He has that great speed, and he's at the 18-yard line, but Rob Ladenko tackles him.
You know, Rob's the type of DB I think that all the pro scouts are looking for, an aggressive, mean type of player who's not afraid to hit, not afraid to come up and slap on a big hit. Real nice guy, and does a great job here on this play, coming up and making the tackle.
198-pounder from Shellen, Washington. Played at Walla Walla Community College.
Came off a knee injury, too.
2nd down. Was that a mix-up that time?
I think the only mix-up was Jason Buck and Steve Sanders
coming right on top of him,
just stacking it up.
I tell you, Steve Sanders comes up, makes a fine play right here, just stuffs him right in the hole.
3rd down coming.
That was a great job by Steve Sanders that time.
3rd, still about 4 yards for the first down. 2:17 to go in the third quarter, and boy, the yards are tough to come by down deep here against BYU. That's Millen sprinting out. The pressure's on. Here's his pass. It was out of bounds. I don't know if it was caught, but it was out of bounds anyway. So it brings up 4th down. And you got to hand it to BYU defense.
Well, they did a super job that time, Jay. They just strung it out, and Jeff Sproul stayed with the receiver long enough that Millen had to just keep running with the ball. Couldn't run the ball, couldn't throw the ball, didn't know what to do. Finally just let it go.
4th down and 4. They went for it the last time they were down here on the 5-yard line and did not make it. Let's see what happens this time.
Well, I think they got to go for it, Jay.
4th and about 4. Man in motion to the left side. Cougars with coming at him. Millen with the ball. Here's the pass. He completed it, but it's not enough for the first down, I don't believe. Well, it's going to be close. We'll have to see where they mark it.
They gave him his forward progress.
They did. They gave him quite a bit.
Boy, the BYU fans don't agree with that. They thought they had him short of that.
See, this
led
time
by Mark Sherman.
He's just going out. And he's just going for the first down. He just wants to get past the first down yard marker, and he gets hit right as he makes the catch and looks back. Doesn't think he has it. Struggles for it, but
they stopped him.
They still
the
stopped.
BYU's defense stopped him again. Mark Sherman's tackle turns the ball over to BYU.
That's a big play in this game, Jay.
Well, they told BYU fans to wear blue and wave white, wasn't it? We see a lot of white waving right now.
Good reason to.
We have 1:58 left to go in the 3rd period. Brigham Young 24, Washington 3, and the Cougar defense has really stopped Washington dead today. In fact, the Cougar defense did a great job last week against UCLA.
Sure.
Hey, the Cougar defense last year did a great job, too.
Who was on that defense? Anybody by the name of Herman?
Here's Bosco to throw on 1st down. He's going to fire it deep. Intended for Kozlowski, but it's intercepted. Back to the 40.
Uh-oh.
Back to the 35, angling across the field. Got away from a man. He's to the 30, and it's Bosco himself who brings him down. Well, the defense will have to try again.
Is that ball tipped? I don't know.
Bessie Jackson made the interception. That's the 2nd interception today. So the defense back out on the field again.
That's tough for the defense come.
That ball didn't look right to me. I don't know. It just didn't come off Robbie's hand right or something. Looked like someone may have taken a few shots at it in the air.
Kozlowski fell down trying to get back to it. But it was a good interception.
This is going to be mentally tough right now for the defense more than anything. You stop them, 4 downs, right down near the goal line. You play tough. You got to come right back after one play. It's going to be tough.
Well, the Cougars moved right down and scored to open the 3rd quarter. Since then, Washington has been in the BYU end of the field.
If they want in this game, Jay, it's got to come now.
Millen at quarterback, 1st down call. That's Weatherby. Turns it inside and is tackled at the 21-yard line by Kurt Gouveia.
I don't think running the ball at Kurt Gouveia is the way to get back into this game. Looks like we got a new defensive lineman in there, number 75.
David Futrell.
McDonald's also in as a linebacker. 2nd down.
Nice play by Gouveia.
2nd, about 4.5 for the 1st down. Millen fakes the handoff, back to throw. Looking, throwing for the end zone. Threw it out of the end zone. It's incomplete. Sprouse was covering on Lonzel Hill.
Also into the game, Jay, is Andy Katoa, a young man who suffered a severe knee injury a year ago and has come back. And
geez, it must have been a year ago just about now.
Yeah, and he's back in there now. It's good to see him back in there in the middle linebacker position.
Technically, he's a freshman because of that. He got last year's eligibility back, and he's a Granite High School star. He was the most valuable player on his high school team. 1 minute left to go in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down, 4.5. Millen gives on the draw. Up the middle, not enough for the 1st down, but close.
Nice play by Gouveia there. Looks like they had a stunt between Gouveia and Jason Buck, with Jason coming outside and Kurt Gouveia slanting inside, made the play.
Vince Weathersby, the ball carrier.
Here, Kurt just
Jason
goes
goes outside, pulls the tackle. Kurt comes in, plays off the guard, makes a great play right there.
And Washington faces 4th and 1.5 yards. Cougars load up the line.
Another big play, Jay.
Millen with the ball. There's the handoff. I don't know.
I'll tell you.
Boy, that BYU defensive line won the charge that time. That entire line, it looked like they had a full step on the Washington offensive line.
Let's see if we can see who makes first contact here. Somebody goes right up over on top of him. Looks like it's Jason Bach.
The Cougar defenders are saying they didn't make it. The referee is talking to Millen, says, do you want us to measure? Millen looking across the field. I guess he has the option, but it doesn't look to me like they made it.
Let's take a look at it from another angle here, Jay. See if we can see.
They will measure with 20 seconds to go.
Jay McDonald.
Oh,
Jay McDonald.
Jay McDonald just did a super job
right
that
over the
time.
top.
Jay McDonald out of Ogden.
That's 3 times here in the third quarter. 3 times they've had fourth and short yardage and didn't make it.
You can't ask too much more from that defense. They've played, especially this last quarter.
Defense just did one heck of a job.
Hey, what'd they say, Craig? What would they say to you guys when they get over the sideline now?
Say, come on, guys.
Don't turn it over.
Give us a break.
That's the Washington band.
There's the Washington band. They look a little bit dejected and rejected at this moment.
First and 10, BYU on the Cougars' 17-yard line after the defense dug in and held once again. Bosco at quarterback. A flag goes down. They late getting the play underway?
Could have been, Jay.
They stopped the play before it really got going. 18 seconds to go in the quarter. Here we'll have the walk-off. It's against BYU. Bosco's talking to, or Kozlowski talking to him about it, saying, now, wait a minute. But whatever the referee told him, he said, okay.
Dead ball foul, false start, offense, still first down.
There we go. There we heard it from the main man.
24-3, Brigham Young ahead. First and 15, BYU on their own 12. They need to play for a little better field position now. Sweep to the left side. Sikahema turns the corner, breaks a tackle, hit hard at the 16-yard line. Not a bad run.
Yeah, you can't ask much more out of Vi than that. You know, he breaks one tackle and gets hit again and goes down, you know, but that's a lot more than most running backs. You see Dave Tidwell come out here, number 60, leading the play, and he turns back in, makes a good block there, sealing off. Vi misses a tackle there.
The tackle was by Andy Fuimaono, and that ends the third quarter. After 3 quarters of play, the score, Brigham Young 24, Washington 3. We'll be back in just a moment with the final 15 minutes of the game. Bosco back to throw. Threw it short. Bellini was there, and Robbie underthrew him.
Yeah, Robbie knew he did too, Jay. You see, right after he threw it, he knew he'd underthrown him and knocked himself in the head. And come back to the huddle and say, let's go, guys. I won't let you down next time.
One thing, BYU's record streak is on the line. They have scored on the pass in 37 consecutive games, which is an NCAA record. They broke the record last week. The last time BYU did not score on a pass was back in 1981, and I think it was the Hawaii game in Honolulu. 13-3 game. The only touchdown was a fumble recovery in the end zone. Bosco to throw. Here it comes. Incomplete at midfield. Norberg there, Bellini there, but he overthrew him. And BYU will have to kick the ball again.
That was just a little deep crossing pattern by Scott Norberg and Mark Bellini, and nobody could come up with the ball, and so
I wonder if that was overthrown or underthrown, depending on who he was looking at.
We have Robbie unofficially with 248 passing yards in this game. And here's Kevin Tell into punt.
Second punt of the game.
Ron Milas back deep. Kicking from the 1-yard line. Jay Shumway doing the deep snapping. Snap is right to him. The rush is on. He got it away. Fairly good punt this time. No, it'll go out of bounds up at midfield. So well, let's see where they mark it.
It seems like the last time we had a season like this was when Lee Johnson was leading the nation in punting. I think he had about a 51.6-yard average, which would have been an NCAA record, but due to the fact that we only kicked,
we never kicked the ball.
Never kicked. That was a problem.
He didn't have enough kicks to register.
More football from BYU coming your way. The Cougar defense back out on the field once again. Millen to throw on first down. Here's the pass downfield. Threw it way out of bounds.
Meantime, Jay, this stadium's turned into a human wave.
And they're really getting a kick out of the play of the BYU defense. The offense, except for that drive to open the third quarter, has not been able to move. They've been in bad field position, but the defense has played exceptionally well. 2nd and 10 on the Cougar 41-yard line. Millen, I formation. That's a handoff to Weathersby, and there simply is no hole there that time.
Great job by the defensive line. Steve Sanders, Laticeo, Sean Knight just stacking it up. Look right there, Sean Knight just standing his man up.
Leon White
stand his man up and just isolate him.
3rd down and 9 on the 40.
Great job by the defensive unit.
3rd and 9.
Passing situation here for the Huskies.
Millen fakes the draw, back the throw. Threw it just as he was hit, and it's incomplete.
Good pressure there by Jason Buck, Kurt Gouveia.
Ladenko was covering as the pass was intended for Dave Trimble, but they put the pressure on. He had to throw it quickly.
Had the pressure on him. Besides that, Ladenko was stride for stride with the man.
4th and 9, and they'll play for better field position this time. They're going to kick it. In to do the kicking is Brian Slater. Or check that. Is Thane Cleveland. He's their punter. Cleveland averages 44.5 yards a punt.
What do we got back deep there? Oh,
little snap.
Nobody really. They had somebody up at the 10-yard line, but they were going to let that one go. Let's go with more football. BYU 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Right at the start of the 4th quarter. Bellini goes in motion to the right. Bosco gives him the draw to Heimuli. Heimuli up the middle, tremendous hole. He's all the way to the 35, 36-yard line.
Hey, that draw trap has worked for him all night.
That was just a beautiful draw trap. You know, you draw it up on paper and you hope it happens that way, and this is a time that it did. Dave Tidwell coming across, puts his man right on his back on the trap.
Good block by Dave Wright.
Dave Wright stays with his man. Rest is up to Locke. He just takes it on downfield. Kozlowski in there trying to throw a few blocks along with a few punches.
1st and 10, BYU on their own 36-yard line. That's Lindley at tight end, going in motion, going back. Bosco. There's the draw again. Heimuli, and it works again. And he's up to the 47-yard line. That's working time after time. Zachary tackled him.
Like they say, stay with what's worked for you all night, and this has, man. It's unbelievable. How many? I'd like to see how many yards Locke has off that.
We're checking on it right now.
I'll tell you what. I think the defensive line for the University of Washington is so anxious to sack Robbie Bosco that they're getting upfield so far. It's making it easy for the draw to develop.
That's what makes the draw work so good for BYU. The defensive linemen are expecting pass and want
91.
Want to get off 91 yards.
91 rushing yards for Heimuli.
That's a great day. He's headed for more even yet.
2nd down, about a yard. Bosco will pass on this one. Pumps once, can't find anybody. Now being chased, scrambling. Here's the throw. Incomplete, intended for Bellini.
I think he wanted to go downfield to Sikahama that time, Jay, and he just couldn't find him.
Ron Midas broke up the pass.
Here he is back. He's got good protection. Looking downfield, wants to throw to Sikahama downfield, wants to throw to Bellini, can't get to him, tries to dump it off.
3rd down and a yard.
I'll tell you, BYU's offensive line has played great tonight. What did they just have 1 sack on Robbie tonight? He's had just about all day back there to pick the defense apart. They're playing great.
3rd and a yard for the Cougars at the 46-yard line. Robbie bootlegs it. He's out to the right. He'll run it for the 1st down, and he slides down short of the 50 to pick up the 1st down.
Just enough.
You see Coach Roger French over there on the sidelines telling him, waving him down. Get down after you get the 1st down.
Like a third base coach telling him to slide.
You don't want your quarterback getting hurt on that. Everybody goes left. Robbie goes right, and he sees open field. He can get to the 1st down. Robbie, a good athlete, exceptional athlete. Slides for the 1st down.
1st and 10, BYU at midfield. They're on their own 49-yard line, leading 24-3 over the University of Washington. That's the draw to Heimuli. It opens up again, and he busts his way forward to the 44-yard line. Boy, he put a shoulder into a defensive back.
Boy, some of these DBs from Washington is going to have the number 35 imprinted on their helmets by the time this day's over with.
I'll tell you, over 100 yards rushing. That doesn't happen that often for a BYU running back.
Here he goes. He gets outside and just kaboom.
Tom Earl
right over the top of
him.
that guy.
It's DeMoy Williams that he put the shoulder into. 2nd down and 3 for BYU on the Washington 44. Bosco back to throw on 2nd. Here's the pass. Drills Bellini. Bellini breaks some tackles, and he's to the 26-yard line.
A little extra spin there by Bellini. Got him a few extra 4 or 5 yards.
Boy, Robbie rifled that pass.
Yeah, Robbie's got the arm when he has to. He can throw it and thread the needle, and he did just that this time. There's Vicek Ahima going across the middle as a diversion. Glenn Kozlowski down at the bottom of the screen as a diversion. Leaves Mark Bellini right open.
We talked earlier about some of the best players to ever play at BYU. If I put you on the spot and say who's the best quarterback, would you respond?
In what area?
Here's a sweep to Tuipulotu. He tries to turn the corner, is knocked out of bounds. Because you had a Gary Shiny and a Gifford Nielsen and
it's
Mark
hard to
Wilson
say they're best, but
Jim McMahon, Steve Young.
The best thing to do is say they're all great in their own way, I guess. And
yeah, Robbie's the best right now, you know, and you got to give him credit. He's doing a great job, and he's setting all kinds of records. And
they just keep surprising everyone. I'll tell you that. There's every year and year in year out, there's a doubt, but
you know,
they come in and perform.
A lot of the present fans don't remember Shidey, but he was a great streak passer.
Oh yeah,
he got hot.
Hurt his shoulder in the Fiesta Bowl.
They may have had offsides. This is Heimuli. Flags go down. Heimuli's to the 21-yard line, but I believe a defensive lineman was over the line before it snapped. Flags dropped. And I remember Gifford Nielsen coming off the bench, completing something like 15 of 16 against New Mexico, and they never got him out of there then until he was hurt.
No.
McMahon and Wilson. Wilson, the great arm. McMahon would beat you all kinds of ways.
Oh, McMahon, just an excellent reader of defenses.
We'll check the official call.
Still 2nd down.
Offsides on Washington. 2nd down. BYU 2nd and 3 on the Washington 19-yard line. 10:49 left to play on the football game. Bellini to the left, Kozlowski to the right. It's the running play to Heimuli. Heimuli straight ahead, down close to first down yardage.
Just running the ball, Jay, trying to use up the clock. Now we're doing what Washington wanted to do, was to control the ball, and that's exactly what we're doing.
We've talked about this record earlier. They do not have a touchdown pass in this game. Craig, who's the best offensive lineman ever to play at BYU? Jim?
Craig Garrick, of course.
Best defensive lineman? Boy, there have been some great ones on both sides of the ball there, too.
There have been. Super lines.
More to come, too, I'm sure.
Bosco, they sack him this time. He looked. Now, wait a minute. A flag goes down.
I think that's going to be a face mask.
Yeah, you see, Dave Wright was with him the whole way. Rogers blocking him. And the only thing Rogers could do was reach over the top. You notice, watch here on the replay. Dave Wright stays between his man and the quarterback. A little holding there.
There it is.
He
That should be
reaches
15
over.
yards, too.
Reggie Rogers is from Sacramento, a junior. He played basketball for 3 years. His brother played at UCLA and was a great defensive back. I think he's playing pro ball now, isn't he?
Yeah. I think he was Rookie of the Year last year, as a matter of fact.
And he's a big guy, 6'7", 245. So the face mask penalty gives BYU
We have a face mask on the defense, penalized from the line of scrimmage, and first down.
1st and goal, Brigham Young on the 8-yard line.
Penalties again, haunting Washington.
10:13 left to play in the football game.
Another big play, nullified by a penalty.
Bosco tripped. Oh, no, he fell on the ball. No, they'll say he was down. Oh, boy, break for BYU. Bosco tripped over his own foot, I believe. Went down, the ball went flying in the air.
I'm sure that hurt his pride a little, among other things.
I don't know
Robbie's a great guy. He'll take it in stride. You know, he just
Yeah, he tripped over his own foot.
the turf monster jumped up and grabbed him and
Showed some great athletic ability there, Robbie.
some real grace getting up too.
Second and goal on the 14-yard line.
His girlfriend Karen will like that one.
Cougars ahead 24-3, trying to get another score here in the fourth quarter. Bosco back to throw. Setting up. Swings it over to Heimuli. Catches it. Goes down the sideline and is out of bounds at the 10-yard line. A safety valve pass. Were these two, were Bellini and Kozlowski that open when he threw it?
Well, I don't know, Jay. They sure looked open down at the bottom of the screen, bottom of the field. I don't think Robbie was even looking over there. I think he was looking at Locke the whole time that time.
Well, they had a lot of pressure on him, too.
Yeah.
Okay, third and goal for BYU on the 11-yard line.
94 on your side.
Bosco back to pass. Good protection. Here's the pass. Almost intercepted.
Boy, Jay, he really had to have threaded the needle to make that pass complete, and that might have been our touchdown that we were looking for.
Right, intended for
Could have been
Bellini.
38 games right there.
Albert Tifono is the one who deflected it.
Watch him with good drop back, plants, throws good and hard off his forward foot.
Whoa.
Good pass, just too many defenders just right there at the wrong time.
Gary Webster in to try the field goal. He has one field goal in the game.
This will be a real confidence builder for Gary if he can put this one through the uprights.
It's blocked. Blocked, and Washington chasing the ball. They pick it up. They'll try to run it back out to the 30, to the 40, and at midfield bumped out of bounds. We've heard a lot about Washington's ability on the kicks, and they got in and blocked it, ran it all the way back to midfield. George Tavita made the stop at midfield. And so with 8:45 left to play in the game, and it's a 24-3 game.
They come
from the outside.
From the outside and just get a hand in there and block it, and Washington was almost off to the races there.
That's a pretty good play by Ron Miles to pick that bouncing ball up and return it.
The other number 12.
They call him a big play football player. I believe it. He was fourth in the nation in punt returns last year. First and 10, Washington. The ball at midfield.
Washington's got to go upstairs with it, Jay.
And they do on first down, and they complete it. No, they did not.
Giving it to him.
The officials will rule that the ball went around in back of him. He did not catch it. BYU's players were signaling that, and the official who was in backs
I think that might
made
be a
that
good
ruling.
call. Here it is. Nice pass.
So he has it for a moment. Now it goes up over in back of him and touches the ground.
Oh, bounces off the ground
Bounces
right there.
off the ground. That's a good call by the ref.
Second and 10 at the BYU 48-yard line.
I'll tell you, that's what they need to do, though. Put the ball in the air.
Millen to pass again. Does throw out for the flat. Intercepted!
Rodney
Back to the 50. Down to the 40. Down to the 30. Bumped out of bounds to the 24 is Rodney Thomas.
Turn out the lights, Jay.
For Rodney Thomas.
Well, I'll tell you, that surprises me. He was caught. He's got some speed. That was a great play.
That's his third interception of the year.
This is a beautiful job of anticipation by Rodney Thomas. The ball's put out, hung out to dry out there. Rodney Thomas just picks it off, and he's off to the races. And I'm, frankly, Jim, I'm surprised he was caught.
I am too. He's got some speed.
Hugh Millen caught him just in time to save a touchdown.
He's going to be a good one. Only a sophomore.
Yeah, has he had an interception in every
His
game?
third. Yeah, that's right.
He's had an interception in every game this year. So
against
far.
UCLA, he almost had one that could have won the game, you know.
Yeah.
Just about grabbed it off his shoe tops. Well, BYU with an interception has the ball first and 10 on the Washington 22-yard line. Robbie Bosco at quarterback. Bosco fakes, does give the draw to Heimuli. Heimuli gets away from one man, around the corner, knocked out of bounds to the 15-yard line.
Kay is running wild.
Boy, he's running with such authority and such confidence, making his own holes, making his own breaks, running over the top of people, just doing a super job.
It'll be a second down play for BYU.
Right here, just outruns the outside linebacker.
He's got
Cuts upfield.
110 yards rushing now for Luque.
Oh, that's super.
2nd and 2 for the first down, 14 for the touchdown. Bosco back to throw, does throw, completes it to Malini at the 6-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jay, that 38 touchdown in the air was there with Scott Norberg. He was in the back of the end zone, wide open.
I don't think there's too much question about Trevor's hands. He's caught just about everything thrown to him.
Trevor's done a super job today.
DeMoy Williams tackled him.
Nice catch, hangs onto the ball after a hard hit.
Boy, he's big and tough to hit. 231, 6'3".
He is a physical specimen, Jay, and there's a lot of positions Trevor Malini could play on a football team.
He's very fast, too.
Yeah.
Very fast.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line. That's Bellini in motion, left side. That's Heimuli running right side.
Outside.
Might make it. I think he did. No, he's out of bounds, the referee said, the official.
That was close.
I thought he reached the ball in there, but I guess he went out first.
I thought the marker down there was part of the end zone, and if the marker was obstructed with, then it was a touchdown. I don't know. I'll take a look here and see. It looks like the ball.
Well, look at that.
Good. That's tough.
Boy, I don't know. I'd have to question that call.
Well, if justice were to prevail, you'd give the ball to Heimuli now.
Yeah.
As it's 2nd and goal on the 6-inch line.
They brought in another tight end, Lance Lindley.
It's a great effort right there by Luque.
Tony Zachary tackled him. Cougars do not have a scoring touchdown pass in this game.
Tom Tuipulotu's in the game.
That's Heimuli, and he scores. Luque Heimuli gets it in there. And what a game he's had.
He's had an unbelievable game.
It's Brigham Young 30, Washington 3, with 7:42 left to play.
Tui goes up. Leads.
Tom Tui leads with a great block. Luque just goes right over the top of him into the end zone. Super job by that offensive line surging down there.
5 plays, 22 yards, a minute 22 to score.
You know, on that play, Luque can go up over the top or just go underneath, and he decided to go follow his blocker and went up over the top and got the 6.
Webster to try the extra point. He's perfect so far today. And the kick looks good. It is good. So a timeout on the field and 7:42 to play. It's Brigham Young 31, Washington 3. Brigham Young University football from Provo, Utah. Jay Monson along with Craig Garrick and Jim Herman, former football players at Brigham Young University. Mark Ormsby to kick off for BYU, and he's done an excellent job for the Cougars today. He's teeing it up now to kick off. Former rugby player at BYU, an All-American rugby player.
Let's see, he's perfect today, Jay, isn't he, on his kickoffs? He's got everyone into the end zone.
Everyone into the end zone. They ran the first one back. This one is right at the goal line, so they'll run it back. 10, 15, 20, and forces his way forward to about the 23.
Boy, Andy Katoa was right there, just the freshman linebacker for BYU, doing a super job coming up and making that play.
Unofficially, we have BYU 275 passing, 171 rushing for 446 yards. And we have Washington 159 passing, 177 rushing for 336. But where it pays off is on that scoreboard, and the Cougar defense has held Washington to 3 points.
Washington's got to air it out right here, Jay. There's not much question about it.
And Millen will throw on first down over the middle. He completes it to the 32-yard line to his tight end, Rod Jones. 7:20 left in the football game. Jay McDonald, the tackler for Brigham Young.
Total yards, University of Washington 336 to BYU's 446.
Okay, the Huskies ready on a second down call. Millen to throw again. Here's the pass. Incomplete this time. He dropped it. Jennifer Jenkins.
Millen's got to be a little disgusted. Those are few.
We're going to take a look here at Sean Knight, big defensive tackle for BYU. He comes in on the pass rush, throws an uppercut, and tries to twist back into the inside. Good move by Sean Knight. Good activeness.
He's big and strong. Sean Knight. Sean Knight, 279. Again, we got to compliment our camera crew and our directors today.
Oh, they're doing a
Some
super
great
job.
shots. Here's a running play going for the first down.
I tell you, that was. I think they're going to give it to him, but that was close. Yep, first down.
Carrying the ball, Tony Covington. No, check that. They've got some new players in there. Carrying was Aaron Jenkins, a tailback.
Steve Sanders right there on top of things. Jay
Up to this point, it looks like BYU's bounced back pretty good from their defeat last week.
Yeah, I know. I talked to some of the players during the week, and they're a little bit concerned, but I don't think there's any doubt about their ability to bounce back now.
Millen back to pass. Pretty good time. Here's the pass. Incomplete. Intended for Jones, his tight end. Covering was Hobbs, a Cougar linebacker.
Yeah, Rich Hobbs is an outstanding individual in there, seeing a little action, a linebacker.
He's a good athlete. Reminds me a lot of Todd Shell, tall, lanky, good athlete.
A lot out of the mold of Todd Shell. He had some trouble with his elbow, had a little elbow surgery, and he's come back very well from it.
6'5" sophomore. Good prospect. Good player, I'll say that. Second down, Millen back to throw again over the middle. Completes it to the 40-yard line.
Jay McDonald.
Jenkins got it.
Stater out of Ogden. Jay McDonald, you know, there's a great success story for you. The kid had a serious knee operation and a knee problem and fought his way back, and a lot of times was told to give up and to not play anymore, that it wasn't worth it, and he's out there on the field making tackles today.
Shane Shumway is in as a defensive back now, too, for BYU. Fatissimano, I believe, in the game. Here's a pass to Jones, and Fatissimano made the tackle.
Nice tackle by Alema. Alema's going to be a good one. He played real well on special teams last year and had some bright spots when he got in the game, too.
Yeah, he had a good game against Colorado State last year.
Real young and aggressive.
Just a sophomore, too.
Sean Nye with the swim technique there. Good
stick.
Good stick.
First and 10, Washington on their own 47-yard line. Millen back to pass. Here it comes down the sidelines. Oh, great catch.
Oh, beautiful.
Great catch by Hill.
Throws a good ball.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Jay, they haven't been putting the ball up a little more.
A little earlier than they've started to. They had success with it, like we talked about before in the Orange Bowl. I think
they've got
they
great
had a long
receivers.
score right before the halftime and a long pass from Hugh Miller.
Well, that was a great catch by Lonzel Hill. So they're down into Cougar territory again. First and 10 on the BYU 32. But they found all afternoon it's pretty tough from here on in against BYU. Back to throw. Millen throws it out of the pocket. Finds a man up the middle. Dumps it off to him. And he's down to the BYU 17-yard line. They almost sacked him that time. But he got it off to Vince Weatherby.
Yeah, good hard running by Weatherby there.
So Washington threatening to score. That BYU defense has kept them out of the end zone the entire game.
Good pressure right there by Sean.
Watch Weatherby here. When he gets the ball, he heads upfield, he ducks his head, and just keeps those legs churning. Does a great job.
Rob Lepenko came flying in there for a big stick.
First and 10 on the 16-yard line. Millen will throw again.
Oh, watch out.
He had to dump that one off. It'll be ruled incomplete.
Nice play, Richard Hobbs.
Richard Hobbs right on top of him. The reaction from the crowd, they wanted intentional grounding. Well, he turned around, and there was Hobbs right in his face.
I tell you, Steve Sanders almost intercepted that.
Some of the fans who enjoyed a football game, probably a lot of them on the east side in particular, good and sunburned today.
A lot of coaches up there in the stands.
Second and 10 on the 16-yard line. 4:57 to play in the game. Millen looks to the sideline, lobs it down the side. Tried to lob it to Hill in the corner. It's incomplete. Shumway covering for BYU. Wilcox is also in the game defensively. That's a play BYU uses a lot.
Yeah, throw it up, and it's all timing on this play. You throw it up, and the receiver just goes up and tries to make the catch. But that time he overthrew him a little bit, and Shumway was right there with him.
Good coverage by Shane.
Shumway is a junior from Blanding, Utah. So he comes from a pretty small high school. Third down and 10.
Looks like they might blitz this play, Jay. They bring everyone.
And they go on the outside to Jenkins. Jenkins fights his way to the 11-yard line.
That was just an outstanding job by Rob Ledenko, coming up, taking on the block, and falling back in and making the tackle. You watch him here.
We sure hope our fans around the country, especially those at the LDS Stake Centers, have enjoyed watching this telecast live. Remember, the funding for that provided by the BYU Cougar Club. If you'd like to help and make sure these telecasts keep coming your way, you want to check into the Cougar
situation.
Run out and join the Cougar Club.
4th down and 5 on the 11-yard line. Long count. Wait a minute.
We got penalty flags.
Flags go down.
Too much time.
Millen is still running. They'll stop it. They'll stop the play. Flags were dropped.
Jason
let's see
Buck
what
all over him.
Jason Buck was chasing Millen. I think you'd increase your speed a lot if you had Jason Buck bearing down on you.
I think he's an
All-American
incentive to run.
that's for sure.
4 minutes and 8 seconds left to play in the ball game.
I'll tell you what, you wonder, Washington's been down there 4th and short how many times, and you wonder if they would have kicked field goals. It's 12
the
points.
offensive team still 4th down.
Well, that makes it 4th and 10. Back on the 11-yard or 16-yard line after the delay of game call. Millen back to pass on 4th down. Pressure's on, gets the throw off. Incomplete in the end zone.
Caught, Jay.
Now a flag goes down.
No way.
I don't know.
I don't know. That pass hit the intended receiver, but a flag has gone down.
We'll have to take a look at this, Jay, again on replay.
David Trimble looked like it bounced right off his shoulder.
I wonder if we've got an isolation on Trimble.
They will rule defensive interference on BYU.
Here we go, Jay.
The Cougars really didn't think so.
Okay, here he comes, back over the middle. Well, you really can't see it there, but
that's a close call.
Looked like it hit him in the shoulder without any contact from where we are.
Even with contact, the ball should have been caught. It was right there in his arms.
So it's 1st and goal on the 2-yard line, and with the help of what many would consider to be a questionable call,
interference.
They have a chance to get in the end zone now.
The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. 1st down.
1st and goal on the 2-yard line. 4:02 left to play. BYU ahead 31-3.
Well, Lavell's upset about that call.
Long count. The snap. Millen still with the football. He didn't make it. Batisi Manu, Wilcox, and Shumway out there, and Millen didn't get in there.
I don't know, Jay. Take a look at this play and tell me if you think it was a broken play. I don't know. It looks like he wanted.
It looks like he wants to give it to somebody. There's nobody there.
Then he just turns and runs. I don't know. It might have been designed for him to keep it the whole way, but it seems like he would have had someone out blocking for him if it was.
2nd and goal on the 1-yard line.
This is where the defense comes alive, right down here.
Fans really getting behind the D here.
Have a lot of the 2nd unit in there. They've done a good job. They try to dive
nice
at the
play.
end.
Fumble.
The football. And Brigham Young is recovered. How about that? Shane Shumway dropped on the fumble, and that BYU defense did it again.
I'll tell you.
Oh, this crowd's going crazy.
Turnovers. Listen to the crowd.
They just deny Washington to get into the end zone.
They tried to go up over the top.
Looks like Andy Katoa in there. Let's take another look at this.
Watch it right here.
There he goes. Tries to go up over the top.
See, the ball stripped away from him.
Ball stripped right there. Looks like Andy Katoa. I'm not sure.
Yep,
Andy Katoa stripped the ball from him.
Stuck his head in there.
Super job by Andy Katoa, the freshman linebacker.
Lane Fowler in at quarterback for BYU, starting on the 1-yard line. Running play.
Bruce Hanson.
Bruce Hanson in at fullback. And Bruce runs it out to the 6-yard line.
Looks like we got a whole new offensive line in there too, Jay.
Bruce is a junior from American Fork. Let's see if we can mention most of them.
We got Doug Rollinson.
John Hunter.
Rodoni.
John Hunter.
Lindley just came in.
Rollinson. Big Doug.
Matau, is Matau in there?
Let's see. Yeah, Chris Mattel at left guard.
That's Hansen. Hansen out to the 11-yard line.
Nice job by Hansen.
Bruce Hansen
Nice job
running
by
hard.
Bruce.
He played a bit a few years ago, JV in 1980, reserve in 81, then
Went
served
on
in
a
LDS mission. 2:31 to play. So you say, is Chris Mattel in too?
Yes, I believe he is, Jay. Here's Bruce just going off tackle. Good job by the offensive line. Bruce doing a lot on his own right there.
So BYU has third and less than a yard.
Dave Miles leading the huddle there.
Blaine Fowler at quarterback. That's Hansen. Hansen fights for the yardage for the first down. It'll be close.
I tell you, they're running behind those two big guys. Rawlinson, 6'5", 300, and Mattel's, what, 290, 285?
There's a lot of beef down there on the offensive line.
Where's the beef? I think we found it.
They'll have to measure, they say, for this one. A lot of things the fans will remember about this game. You know, the University of Washington, but they'll remember those fourth down plays and then this goal line stand a moment ago. Another thing, too, look right now. How many fans you see leaving? Very, very few.
Very few. With 2 minutes to go in a 31-3 game, this stadium's still relatively full.
The Cougars do get the first down. First and 10 on the 11-yard line.
Here comes, who's that coming into the huddle there, Jay? Can you see? I think it's David Miles, the converted DB to tight end. I mean to wide receiver.
That's right, it is Dave Miles.
He's a great athlete. He's going to help him out at wideout.
Not a bad young man at quarterback either. Blaine Fowler could play for anybody.
No, Blaine does a super job.
Here's a pass from Blaine. It's caught by George Tavita to the 20, to the 25-yard line. George Tavita making his first catch, I believe, as a Cougar.
I think you're right.
Let's see, Tavita is a freshman from San Francisco.
Little play action. Blaine rolls out, dumps it off.
He redshirted last year, didn't he?
Dave Miles upfield throwing a block. Great job.
And Fowler completing a pass.
Yeah, Blaine Fowler, you know, he's a great quarterback. You got to say a lot for Blaine. Acting as he does as a reserve quarterback here at BYU. He really is a good athlete.
First and 10 from the 24. Tui Pelotu, the ball carrier, coming around the left side, runs it out to the 30-yard line. About 1 minute, a little over a minute left to play in this football game. Brigham Young ahead 31-3. The Cougars scored the first time they had the ball, first series, and they have been ahead the entire football game.
Some new respect, I think, we got today.
Oh, absolutely.
Up in the Northwest, anyhow.
Absolutely. This is
second and 4.
Been a great victory for the Cougars today.
Remember last year, BYU number 1 in the final national rankings, and Washington was number 2. You can't compare them. Both teams lost a lot of players from last year through graduation. Tui Pelotu going the right side, slips a tackle, and is down at the 33-yard line. Tom is a junior from San Mateo, California, redshirted last year. I don't think there'll be another play.
This is just a little sweet play. And
Could be the game right there. I think they're just going to let the clock run out.
They'll just let the time run out.
Well,
final score, Brigham Young 31, University of Washington has 3.
big game for BYU today.
That's it, Jay.
Okay, our thanks to Craig Garrick and Jim Herman for helping with the telecast. A big victory for BYU.